Thursday, November the 8th, 2018. I thought I heard the music start up again for a second. Did I?
Nope,
no? Good? All right. Okay, we're good. We're here just in the nick of time. I was upstairs using the washroom. Jeff was just pushing the... That's not good. It's on. Oh, it's changed for...
Yeah, we don't have it hooked up.
Okay, well, while I'm getting the intro, Jeff and I forgot that we had the capture card set up for retro verses from last time, and now we've got to solve that problem. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Technical Alpha podcast. We've got a lot to talk about this week. It's a pretty hefty week, actually, as we have more than our usual, especially the last couple weeks, which have been unimaginably slow. It's like everything has decided to happen right now. There we go. We're all... See? Everything's fine.
Oh, yep, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. The microphone was unmuted. Everything good? Let's go!
Everything is good.
Let's go.
Everything is good.
Mr. Black, how are you doing this week?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm better than last week.
Great.
Still lots going on, but
of course,
you know, hey, I'm making it. Good news, everybody.
Yes.
My book.
Yes.
It's done. It's just about done. Like the writing is done, the editing is done. Right now, my editor is formatting it for Kindle, paperback, and once we're done that, then he's going to give me sort of a secondary copy for the audiobook, because it's basically the same stuff, but some parts are worded a little bit differently if it's the audiobook. Yeah. So other than that, it's good. If you guys want to purchase the book, I actually don't know the price yet, but I'll give you sort of kind of where we're at, because we won't know until everything's uploaded on Amazon. It goes by how much it's going to cost to make.
Yeah,
so it's depending how many pages. Like, I know it's a 6x9 book, but depending on how many pages it is, the quality of print, so on and so forth. But I'm thinking what it's going to be is it's going to be $4.99. I think for the ebook.
Okay.
Or don't quote me on this, guys, but by the looks of it, it's
4 easy payments of $4.99.
Yes. For the physical copy, I think it's going to be around $12.
Okay.
And then for the audiobook, I'm not sure how that's priced, but it's going to be like one Audible credit or whatever. So that's sort of the pricing that we're looking at right now. I kind of want to keep everything under $20 so that when people buy it and ship to their door, it's under $20.
$20. Yeah, that's a
so that's what we're looking at right now. Now, if it's a couple dollars more, don't shoot the messenger. But that's what we're trying to aim for. But it really all depends on when we upload it to Amazon and see what's up. But you can go and pre-order the book at some point later on this week. But if you guys want to get on the mailing list, thegrind.gg. So thegrind.gg, and if I can remember, I'll put a link in the description of this video if you're watching on YouTube. And if the pre-order is available, I'll put the pre-order link in there instead.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I'll let you guys know. This time next week, I'll be saying go pre-order the book.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, go exactly where to go, how much it is, go pre-order it.
Everything will be fleshed out.
Yes, and the more pre-orders you get, so what I've learned is the more pre-orders you get, the better, because it all counts as day one sales.
Right.
And if you get into the top, I don't know how it works, the algorithm-wise, but if you get to the top so much, I think it's the top 10 or 100 or something in your category that you're on, you become an Amazon bestseller. So it's always,
nice,
and then you can get that stamp on your book and whatever,
right?
And it's bragging rights, right?
Of course.
So what I'm gonna need is everybody to pre-order the book, because if you pre-order it, by the time, like, we're thinking it's going to be released in about 3 weeks, but if we collect all the pre-orders, so if there's 100 or 200 or 300 pre-orders of the book, then it all counts as day one sales. And in order to be an Amazon bestseller, you either need to have an average, you need to sell so many copies a day within a month period above other people, or you just need to outsell everybody in one day. So, like, if you get a huge, say you sold 400 or 500 copies day one,
right,
and you beat everybody else for that day, you're an Amazon bestseller. If you get to the top of that category, so you don't need to sell 400 copies a day. You just need to sell like a large amount one day, and then you get the stamp of approval.
Okay,
yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Go. I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how my week's been going. Just A lot of stuff with the book.
A
lot of gong show of news.
Lots of gong shows for news. My week was basically both of us, but started playing Magic the Gathering the Saturday following the last podcast. Because on the podcast, you were talking about how positive of an experience it was, and I was like, all right, okay, fine. I've been putting off playing Magic for years and years and years. Maybe this is the Magic that I need to get in on. And so I installed Arena and I started playing it, and it's very good. I mean, it is still in beta. There's some things about the UI that make me want to punch babies, but other than that, it's
great for the beta, man. I've been hooked.
Extraordinarily well done.
I've been hooked.
I think the best part about it is just how generous they are with cards.
Yeah.
So, doing your dailies, you're getting 1 or 2 packs a day, and then when you do draft, which is
5,000 gold,
5,000 gold,
or I think 750 gems,
and I don't know what that ends up being in real
bucks,
dollars. It's a couple bucks, but the thing is, you pay. So let's say it's $2, right? You draft your 40 cards.
Let's say it's $5.
You keep all 40 cards.
Yes.
So there's almost no reason for you, unless you're really going hunting for some really specific cards in a specific series or set. There's no real reason for you to be buying packs unless you want to just do it en masse to kind of get it all out of the way.
Yeah.
Because if you just play regularly and you get your daily gold and you get your you get your access to the draft, you just unlock a bunch of cards. And you experienced this yesterday when you did your first draft, and you paid for it in gold, and you got a mythic level card.
Yep.
Just for doing a draft.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other golds and stuff.
Like, and I haven't spent a cent yet on the game.
Exactly. So it's and on top of that, they give you so many pre-constructed decks just for playing.
Yes.
You play one game a day basically, and until you've unlocked all the pre-constructed decks,
yes,
you get access to them, and then they wisely give you a follow-up for a pack that usually entails playing 30 or 40 of the spells from whatever colors that pre-constructed deck.
Yeah, so that you're playing and you use it.
Yeah.
I'm in love with this game. I love the strategy behind it. I love the fact that I suck, so that I have to learn all this stuff.
There's a lot to learn.
There's like too much. There's so many cards.
There's
so
much to learn. Yeah.
But it's fun and it's competitive, and I like. That's what I've been earning for in my life right now is just fucking some competitive gameplay.
Some other thing to sharpen your teeth on.
I spent the other night. I spent 2 hours playing the game off stream. Last night I spent 3 hours. So I streamed it for 7 hours.
And then played
Then
it for
I went
3.
and downloaded it on my laptop.
You were watching me and playing
I was
it.
watching you and playing it in bed for 3 hours. I woke up this morning from 10 a.m. to 12. I played in bed.
Damn.
I am absolutely hooked on this game. It's unfortunate because it's not the most popular thing. It's actually not doing bad on Twitch in terms of numbers. It's doing well, as a whole.
I would be Well, the thing is, on Twitch right now, there's 2 categories: Magic the Gathering and Magic the Gathering Online. And Magic the Gathering Online was like the precursor to Arena, which is people are still it's Magic, so people in Magic tend to get stuck in their ways. So online is still around.
Yes,
even though Arena is demonstrably better in just about every way you could possibly imagine.
It's infinitely better.
But Twitch doesn't have a category for Arena.
No, it's all soaked into one thing.
So it's all lumped in with Magic the Gathering. So I would be interested in what
happens after.
Just Arena is really pulling in.
Yeah. So I'm happy I played it. I'm excited for Artifact, which beta's in 10 days.
Yeah.
So we both got a key. You were given a key, right? Do you have a key?
No, I don't have a key.
Oh, I thought somebody gave you one. Somebody messaged me and gave me a key, and they said, I gave Adam a key.
I'm going to be real with you right now. Now that I'm playing Magic,
I know.
The fucks given for Artifact right now.
Oh, I know.
Are at an all-time low.
Well, that's
Kramer is on the Business News Network going, sell!
yes.
Sell Artifact stocks right now!
Yeah.
Get it out! He's pressing every fucking button in the studio.
So that's what I'm scared of right now is I'm getting hooked on Magic, and now Artifact. I'm still gonna play it. I'm still gonna try it out. I love the fact that it's a MOBA meets card game where there's 3 lanes, 3 boards. We talked about it a little bit last week. but I hate the fact that I'm falling so in love with Magic that I'm gonna play Artifact and go, I just want to play Magic, right?
Which is unfortunate because you know Artifact's gonna pull in way more people on Twitch than Magic.
But well, here's the thing: if streaming wise it does better for me, I'll just play Artifact.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I just will.
Yeah.
Because right now Magic is doing nothing for me. Right.
Yeah,
I'm just playing it just because I like it.
Yeah.
And the community's having fun, and it's nice to just chill and do it. But it's literally doing nothing for my stream. But we'll see what happens with Artifact. That if it does well stream wise and I enjoy it, then I'll play it. But if the game lets me down, or I don't, or I'm just not enjoying it the way I enjoy Magic, I'm just gonna be I'm gonna be on the Magic tip. I think I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna be playing that for a little while. At the very least, what's nice about Magic for me is it gives me a secondary game to play.
Yeah,
so that I can still play StarCraft for like 4-6 hours in a day, and then just switch over to Magic and play 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
like how you said that as fast as humanly possible.
Play 4 or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours.
It's just so easy to sit down and just, dude. I play it and like hours just go by, like hours. And when you do a draft, like I only did one draft. And that shit takes like 3 hours because you're sitting there, and we're so new.
It takes
I'm reading all the cards. I'm looking at the chat to see what they think. I'm waiting. I pick a card. We got to do this 60 times, right? And then I got to play a game, and then I got to do little tweaks, and then I got to play a game. So it's pretty fun. I recommend it. Adam's having a good time.
I recommend it.
We're both playing it. And we'll see where we go from there.
It's really, so the biggest selling point, because so many people have come in. So for me, it's not that it's doing something for my stream so much as it's the most engagement I've got from my core audience in a long time. Because my core audience is a bunch of old men. So
it's right up their alley.
So much of them play Magic, it's uncanny.
It's a great game for your stream.
Yeah,
for sure.
So my numbers are up if I'm playing Magic.
Grind that.
I average like 30 or so more viewers if I'm playing Magic versus some other game.
Grind Magic.
So, but the downside is because on Twitch it's not exactly like this crazy burgeoning whatever. It's not like I'm growing my stream crazy with it. So I streamed the other day. I streamed 13 hours of Magic.
I was right behind you.
13 hours of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I did 12 hours 15 minutes.
I had 8 new followers. And it wasn't because my turnover was bad. My turnover was actually really good. It's that from the browse page, I only had 27 people from the browse page scroll through.
Yeah.
And so my turnover, 8 out of 27 on conversions, not actually.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
The problem is that nobody's fucking coming from the browse page, and then everyone's coming from my followers.
Yeah.
And so that's the struggle right now.
Well, listen to this, Adam.
What?
I did 12 hours, 15 minutes.
Let's go.
And I lost 43 followers. I lost 43 followers.
Well, to be fair, I didn't look to see if I had dropped for the day. I'm just looking at new followers.
I lost. So I might,
I might have also been down for all I know.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're not playing StarCraft?
Get fucked.
Wait, where's RuneScape at? I beat it. Unfollow.
I saw you play League of Legends the other day.
I saw you play League of Legends the other day. Are you gonna put? You were so close to hitting gold. When are you gonna play? I'm playing Magic. Unfollow. I hate you. So that's my life.
Yeah, it's it is crazy. Definitely play it. If you've ever looked at Magic as like the in-person paper game, card game, and you thought to yourself, well, that's too expensive, because in all honesty, it is.
It is, but not this.
Arena is not only is Arena the most accessible Magic has ever been in the history of the game,
it's the cheapest
and the most financially, affordable of all the Magic the Gatherings. It's also coincidentally and to some degree ironically, the most generous card game that you can play right now, like in terms of like a virtual card game.
Yeah. Go download it and play it. Just go. Just go. Even for free, you're gonna get quality in there.
Yeah.
It's a great free to play game. It's not a pay to win by any means, and it's not an RNG fest like Hearthstone.
Well, there's some RNG, but I mean there's always
a card
it's
game.
Card games.
I mean, there's always.
However, you watched me last night with the Dream.
All right, let's get into the news because we've got a ton of stuff, and I'm going to a movie later because we could sit here and talk about Magic for an hour.
All I'm going to say is that if you're listening to this right now and you want a good time, you need to go check out the VOD of my stream or the highlight that's there for my deck that I call the Rapture. And all you need to know is that if you've ever wanted to piss off a blue-black player, I have your answer. So just go and check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a thick with 5 C's this week in terms of news. We've got some stuff we can rattle off pretty quick. Some of the stuff is like a medium, and then there is a meaty big boy at the bottom of this list for us to get through. First up, Fallout 76. Jeff and I both at E3, when they announced it, called it categorically going to be a dog shit game. Guess what? It's a dog shit game. Further proven by the fact that there's no anti-cheat, it's a massive security risk, and everything was tied to the fucking frame rate. So until recently, when they capped the frame rate, there were people motoring around the map at about Mach 5 and breaking the game. If you're a streamer currently, until they figure out a way around it, you are literally opening yourself up and your IP address to the world with very little that they have to do to find it. And so, like we've experienced in the past with
DDoS.
Skype, DDoS.
Fun.
And no anti-cheat of any kind. People were already finding ways to hack and mess with the game, and that's in the beta, which, as we've discussed last week, they've only had about 14 minutes of beta time. So you can only imagine what's going to happen when it drops, and they want full price for it. It's a shit game. Don't play it. Don't buy it.
Don't fucking buy it. Yeah.
Stop giving Bethesda money for broken shit. I know you love Bethesda games. I love Bethesda games, but it's got to stop. Yep. They're still using the Gamebryo engine in 2018 to try and make a low-key MMO Fallout game that's fucked to hell. So just stop it. Let them stop. Rainbow Six. Jeff, if I said to you, do you think that the reason why Rainbow Six's market is maybe, as not as wide as they want it, would the fact that there was a couple of posters of like a strip club in the game, do you think that's the reason?
No.
Maybe it's because there's a casino with slot machines. What about that one? That limiting their audience?
No.
Would the fact that you're running around perhaps shooting people mercilessly with fully automatic and otherwise weaponry, perhaps that's your limiting factor?
Might be.
Okay, well, they don't think that. So this is what they're doing. For China and for the audience of younger children, I guess, where they want their parents to be able to feel good about their kids playing this game, they are cleansing Rainbow Six Siege of every mildly sexual through gambling reference, everything gone, all gone.
Bye-bye.
But thank God that they didn't get rid of the shooting, because it would be a hell of a game if they did.
They kept the killing.
The killing's there.
The gambling's gone.
The gambling, the gambling, the image of a slot machine is gone. You don't actually get in there in slot machine, but just seeing it, killing people. Looking at a slot machine, can't do that shit.
Don't do it.
So yeah, shout outs to Tone Deaf, whatever the fuck, but I guess if you're trying to get into China, good luck with it. YouTuber banned temporarily before a viral kickback saw him get his channel reinstated over a Red Dead Redemption 2 video. Mr. Black, fill me in on this situation, please.
Okay, so for those that don't know, I was told about this when I was streaming yesterday, but there's a YouTuber that has about 500,000 subscribers. He just does a bunch of videos, like takes clips from games and shit, like just your generic video game channel. And he put it up a clip, no talking, no nothing, just of him playing, just raw footage of him running through a town in Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
And there's this woman, a feminist, that's like holding a sign or something, and she's talking about feminism and women
not
and
voting
just not not voting and not having rights, or I don't know what the fuck it was. So anyway, he takes his character, he pushes her, she drops the sign or whatever, and then he punches her in the face. And she falls back. Yeah, and it was a brutal punch. And she falls back.
It's just savage.
Yeah, and then that's the clip. That's it, right? But it's titled, Red Dead Redemption character punches feminists in the face or something.
Right.
Some left wings, or I don't know who the fuck.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what wings.
It doesn't actually matter which wing it was.
But anyway, people complained. Actually, first, nothing happened because the video wasn't viral.
No.
But the shit started getting traction, and YouTube got a hold of it. There were so many complaints, and they not only deleted the video, but they deleted his channel. They just banned. They just banned his channel. So anyway, he gets a notice from YouTube. YouTube says, you've broken community guidelines, and here's the reason why. And he's like, and he tweets out, okay, so you're going to allow me and everybody else to upload footage of them. I can kill whoever I want in whatever manner. I can go to whorehouses. I can do whatever the fuck I want in this. I can shoot people in the balls, kill them, fuck a hooker, blow their head off, rip off limbs, do whatever. I can do whatever I want, but the moment my character punches a female, that's the line. That's when you delete my channel. So anyway, he tweets out, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but that's sort of the vein of what he was saying.
Yeah.
And he tweets it out, and then a bunch of other big YouTubers and, drama media outlets get a whiff of this. And he sends it.
Like, this is our time.
These are the views. and then he sends proof of the letters and stuff that YouTube sent.
Of course.
And then they went to town. They were backlashing.
Now YouTube's the asshole.
Yeah. So now YouTube's first it's Alex Jones, and now you're censoring this stuff. When YouTube's got an agenda. And then that went viral.
Of course.
Right? There's people with tweets that have tens of thousands.
This poor bastard's caught in the middle of all this shitstorm.
This guy's just caught in the middle of the shitstorm, right? And so then YouTube ends up reinstating the video and giving his channel back. So that's that.
What an absolute
just a gong show.
What an absolute gong show.
It is an absolute gong.
Another gong show. So the 2080 Ti, debacle, the release and everything. There was a bunch of them that were either dead on arrival or dying in the first couple of weeks of people having these cards.
Mm-hmm.
And to such a degree that Gamer Nexus decided that, and I think I talked about this on the previous podcasts, where Steve and Gamer Nexus said, if you guys have 2080 Ti's that have kicked the bucket and you want to, we're not going to do anything that voids their warranty. You can send them to us. We'll pay for the shipping both ways. We just want to test all these cards. We want to see if we can figure out what is causing them to fail. We want to see, is it a hardware level problem? Is it a driver problem? What's going on? Because the failure rate was so high that they're like, something's got to be going on. Thankfully, a bunch of viewers, like 20 or more people, sending all these 2080 Ti's to them from various manufacturers, and they started to get down to work. What it seems to be, as of this time anyway, is that it's a mixture of stuff that's driver fixable, where it was display specific. If the card was hooked up to a certain display or something, and there wasn't, if the sun and moon wasn't aligned, there was something at driver level that can be fixed, and apparently is coming out soon. According, I think I saw Steve tweet about that the driver fix is coming for that. That was causing a blue screen, so it made it look like the card was dead when in reality it was just a driver issue. So that's going to be good. But they have also found a unique. I think only one of the cards so far, but a unique issue where if it was clocked to 1350 megahertz or something, the power draw on it would freeze the card up entirely.
Interesting.
And that's a hardware level fuckery. And then I guess there was a couple of issues, perhaps with some heat being a thing, but it seems like a lot of them, or the majority, the chunk of them anyway, is the driver issue. And not so much, like it seems way more of a regular failure rate in terms of the hardware issues.
Yeah.
And then the driver issue, which again, all this brand new tech on it, it's not surprising that drivers in the first month are bad. So that'll clear out. I got mine in the mail yesterday, showed up, plugged it in, gave it the newest drivers. I ran a bunch of benchmarks. I overclocked it a bit. I didn't push it like crazy because there's not much headroom on it anyway, and they run hot. Overclocked it a bit, and then I put it through Heaven, Time, what's it called? Time Spy, and Firestrike, and then I played every game I had installed on the computer in 4K, completely jacked to the roof, flawless, every single one of them, no artifacts, no issues. The card never went above 75 degrees Celsius, even with the overclock. If I didn't overclock it, it would be like 70. So my card seems to be okay so far. I'll keep everyone. If my card just blows up, I'm sure everyone will find out. But there you go. That's it so far. But if you're wondering, shit looks really good in 4K. 3 out of the 4. Oh, this one was this. On one hand, I feel like this is one of those told you so moments that I've been waiting for forever. But here we are. On the other hand, I feel bad for people that were invested, okay? 3 out of the 4 character DLCs for Final Fantasy 15 canceled. The only one that we're going to get now is Arden, which was the bad guy in the game. Everything else is canceled because Hajime Tabata is leaving Luminous Productions, which is the company that they made in the last year to take on all this Final Fantasy shit. and they posted a beautiful loss of $33 million.
Awesome.
To Square Enix.
Awesome.
And you can tell just how excited the shareholders were to find out about a $33 million deficit on that one studio. And so he went, peace!
I'm out.
I'm out!
Fuck this.
Yeah, so that whole thing is a gong show. I mean, if you don't know why this happened,
We knew it was going to happen anyway.
I called this shit.
Yeah, it's just bad.
The second I played the game and I saw that the characters were showing up and the main character saying, Noctis going, hey, Prompto, where the fuck did you go? And he goes, don't worry about it. That's DLC. And then the next guy leaves and comes back. Hey, where did you go? Don't worry about it. That's DLC. And then the third fucker, where'd you go?
Don't
worry about it. That's DLC. And then they came out and went, yep, guess what? All DLC.
You know what they came back and said? Guess what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't Oh, it's a fucking shit show. It was the biggest money grab. So they spent all that money on a fucking anime.
Yeah,
then they
dude.
spent a shitload of money on a full production movie.
Yeah, bro.
Then they make this game. Then they decide to try and do 3 or 4 DLCs. But before they even get to that, in the last, I don't know if you've been following or seen anything Final Fantasy 15.
Nope,
they've
don't
been
care
going
either.
out of their way to try and make this literally an MMO. It's like Final Fantasy 15, the MMO, multiplayer shit.
No thanks.
And now this shit's not even going to be on the table, and they're all looking to blame things. I'm telling you, one of the worst run fucking companies for one of the biggest, most profitable
Franchises
titles
ever.
in the fucking world. And these bunch of idiots, just painful, but it doesn't matter. Get fucked. I feel sorry for those of you that were invested in Final Fantasy 15. I tried to warn you, but, nobody listens to me. Now we're on to the really good shit.
Yes, the meat.
This is the meat.
The meat and potatoes.
We got rid of the potatoes. Now we're on to the meat.
Now we're on to the meat.
Now we're on to the meat.
And we're at that expensive beef.
Yeah, we ate the potatoes and stuff first because we just wanted
$10 an ounce.
We just wanted the good shit for last. Blizzard. It's BlizzCon. Just happened. And if there was ever I'm going to call it controversial BlizzCon. In my memory, this is the most controversial.
I actually don't remember
BlizzCon.
any other BlizzCon, not only as bad as this, but as controversial as this.
I really can't. I mean, there's on occasion been a couple of minor gripes, but this has been. I mean, there's been some heat coming at them from all sides to the point where Blizzard's not used to this.
No. Activision is though.
Activision's definitely used to it.
Activision's used to it.
Activision is used to it.
You know
Blizzard
who else
is
isn't
not.
used to it? Michael Morhaime. And he wasn't going to get used to it.
He didn't feel
So
like
we got
getting
the
used to it.
fuck out of Dodge.
He got out of it. But
right
we're getting
before-
ahead of ourselves. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
All right.
All right. So BlizzCon happened. We all know that everyone wants, or has heard, about Diablo and all that stuff. It's
Diablo
whatever.
Immortal.
Let's start with let's start with the big one. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Mike Morhaime for being a literal god.
Yep.
I mean, how much bigger does it get than Mike Morhaime? It doesn't really get much bigger. The dude brought us so much that carried our gaming lives early on and then our career later on in life. So shout outs to Mikey for fucking making it happen.
Yep.
So good job, Mike. You had a wonderful send off at this BlizzCon. Unfortunately, or fortunately, simultaneously.
Isn't it funny that it went to shit the moment he left the stage?
Like he just
Like
he left
as
the stage
soon as
and
he
then
left the
boom,
stage,
boom.
the fucking Blizzard went downhill quick.
There's-
They didn't even give it a day.
Mike left the stage.
He left
Shit
the-
went down. Blizzard stock just.
He left the stage, and the dude with Diablo Immortal cue cards came out and getting ready to fucking just take a shit all over the legacy.
Yeah, it was bad.
Jesus.
So again, shout outs to Mike. So that happened, and then let's cover what what wasn't Diablo. So what did we get at this BlizzCon? Right. So we got
No StarCraft.
Well, yeah, we got no start. Well, that's not what we got. This is what we did get. All right. So we got
a co-op.
World of Warcraft Classic, which is
Yes.
their thing that they brought out because they were shutting down all those private old servers.
Yep.
And they said that they would have their solution, so they weren't just being an asshole.
They want to make money off it.
Well, of course, which is totally in their like there. It's within. It would have been worse if they shut them down and never did their own.
Yes.
The fact, like, and which is what most companies do. They just say "fuck you." That's what Nintendo's thing is.
Yep.
Hey, that game over there that's better than all the shit that we're pumping out. Fuck you, and then never do anything about it. At least Blizzard said, sorry guys, can't let you do this, but we're going to.
We'll do it for you.
Do this, and
we'll do it
I think
the right
they
way.
even like brought some of those guys on to assist a bit, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, either way, not the worst they could have done. However, that was there. We got that. We also got Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Yes.
Which lots of people are jacked about. I probably saw the most positive response to Warcraft 3 Reforged out of anything else that happened at BlizzCon.
Yes. That's the thing I'm most excited for.
Same here. Not that BlizzCon set a particularly high bar for being excited about stuff, but I know that we're never seeing Warcraft 4. I get that.
Yes. Yeah, we're not.
But at least we're getting this. It's like a little. It's.
I just hope that with this game they update the mechanics. So that it isn't as clunky or as old as, say, the Brood War Remastered was. Like, I know that this is reforged, so...
Well, there was less wrong with Warcraft 3 than there was, like, Brood War.
Yes. But I mean, like, hotkey-wise, just some of the things that...
You don't want the mechanics to change. You just want quality of life
changes. I want it to feel modernized. So, like, I don't need it to look like it came from 2018. I just need it to run like it comes from 2018, right? Yeah. I need the stuff that we're used to now as RTS gamers that wasn't there 15 years ago. So as long as they do that, I think it's gonna do well. Unfortunately, I still believe that Warcraft 3 is a game that it's a good fan service, and it's the cheapest avenue for them because they're basically just taking the shell of the old game, they're just repackaging it. They'll make a few changes.
Well, they spend a decent
I'm sure they spend a decent amount of money, but it's nothing like if they were to make Warcraft 4 and then they had to like create an esport and fucking that's just a huge gamble, right?
It's cheaper. It gets stuff that you know is going to sell well enough to cover the cost and then some.
Yeah.
And in a current climate where RTS games aren't making money, why would you make
Warcraft
of course
not.
4?
I don't blame them in that department at all. I'll play it, and I'm going to be excited to play it. I just feel like probably what's going to happen is it's going to die after a couple weeks, just like Brood War HD did. Just because.
Well, I think there's more. There will be more longevity in this, if only because of the custom games. Because Warcraft 3 custom games has a much deeper, realm of possibility than Brood War does.
Yeah.
And especially if you're going to up the graphics to where we have it now, and people get to redo that stuff. I mean, that's going to be, I think that's going to be pretty popular. We'll
see. It's not free to play by any means. It's pretty expensive. And it's we'll see what happens. But anyway, that was a good announcement. I like that. That was good.
We got that. So we got WoW Classic. We got Warcraft 3. They did their usual announcement for Overwatch because the Worlds or whatever's happening right now, and they usually announce a character. We got Ashe. Now there's porn of Ashe everywhere. Great, congratulations. This also adds to the list of characters from MOBAs and similar titles with the name Ashe. I think we're up to 3 now.
Great.
So really, they're trying hard.
The creativity level is high,
and they tend to all be girls with guns.
Yep.
Or similar.
Yep.
Or a bow and arrow. A bow and arrow or gun. That's basically they're sharpshooters. So anyway, Ashe gets released. I'm not gonna lie. She looked like a great character. Probably something I would play. The 5 minutes I play Overwatch every now and then. So we got that. Other than that,
StarCraft 2.
What did we get? We got
StarCraft
some co-op
2
stuff?
got a co-op, got a new co-op mission or some shit.
I guess that has to be popular enough if they're going to make more co-op stuff. Like, people must be playing it, right? I don't know personally.
People play it. I just don't give a fuck. I don't care about it, and competitive people really don't care about it.
Yeah.
It's not talked about in WCS. It's not covered. It's just. It's just.
But how much money is any of that?
I think it makes decent money.
What's that?
All that stuff. I think you have to pay for like this mission. Like
no,
I think
I mean the competitive stuff. That's what I'm saying. So like them coming out and focusing more on the the hardcore people versus making co-op stuff.
Yeah, but there's no multiplayer shit. Like there's no there's no talk of an expansion. There's no talk of a new WCS format or more tournaments or anything, and which sucks. Not just because I love StarCraft and it's my favorite esport.
Yeah,
but on top of that, Michael Morhaim's gone, and he was the heart of StarCraft 2. It would have been really nice for them to give some reassurance to the StarCraft fans that just because, I mean, Mike even came out with the Terran logo on.
Well, in fairness to Mike, that's Mike's baby.
Exactly,
right?
but that's why the StarCraft community, or at least I know I'm thinking this, and I know a few others are, that they're nervous now that he's gone and StarCraft isn't this huge moneymaker.
Oh, StarCraft's fucked.
And now we're talking mobile games and all this other shit, which we'll get into, but it would have been nice for them to go and give us a little bit something more than just more co-op or another paid-for mission, or I don't even know.
I just don't think they had.
And on top of that, even if they didn't have anything, which they don't, but even if they didn't, it'd be nice for somebody to come out on stage and say, "Listen, just because Mike Morhaim is gone and he's the one who's really been activist for StarCraft." Me as the new CEO and commander-in-chief here, I love StarCraft as well, and I vow that, we're going to continue to develop and make this game and continue the great work that Mike has done throughout the years, and just give the fans, because they had to have read the forums, the concerns, the tweets, and they didn't even come out and just give that, because we're this community that is dying. Like
well, here's the thing. I don't think they wanted to promise anything because nothing's coming, bro.
I know, but it would have been just nice.
It would have been nice.
Just, it's like bedside manner.
You know what would be great?
But say it's gonna be okay.
If Firefly didn't get canceled, but here we are.
Fuck.
Here we are.
Would have been nice.
I mean, it would have been nice, and obviously it's not fun to watch a game that you're the most passionate about and has been around for a really long time come up on its hardest point in history. Its co-creator gone, like that's bad, and then you've got their biggest balance guy gone, all the StarCraft guys gone, bleeding out like crazy, and RTS not popular anymore. It's the heydays gone there, so. Well, I understand it. It would have been nice when they come out, but I guess when they're sitting back there going, if we tell them that, what expectations now come out of the fucking gate, and when we don't deliver on those expectations,
we're in trouble.
What fire are we going? What hellfire and brimstone are we going to suffer?
It just would have been nice for them to say something.
Yeah,
just say something, like But hey, it is what it is. So anyway. That happens. So really, the good stuff that came out of BlizzCon is the Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Yes.
The classic for WoW fans that love that shit.
I think it's fine.
And hey, that's cool. You know what? If it doesn't hurt the WoW community, so hey, sure.
Yeah,
why not?
Of course.
And Overwatch gets a new hero. I don't think that's anything crazy, but sure, it's there. It was a cool little short.
That's
just
usual,
what they do.
It's the usual Overwatch
It's just another
stuff.
announcement.
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy, right?
It's the peripheral stuff. It's like all the stuff that we just mentioned.
Yeah,
would be in a regular BlizzCon. What tends to be what I call it's the extras.
Yeah,
right.
It's the potatoes.
It's the appetizer.
It's not
even the potatoes and meat yet. It's just the appetizer. It's the shit. It's the salad that comes before.
Ooh, or the calamari.
Exactly. Or Thai chicken bites because they're delicious.
They are delicious.
But that's the peripheral stuff, and it's all what I said on my stream when we were talking about this. Everything we just mentioned, except for Overwatch's character announcement, is backwards looking. It's all old shit that is being patched or just whatever, and which is great. It's fine, but everything's backwards looking. The only thing, and now we can get into it, the closest snippet to forward looking of this entire BlizzCon for anyone that was in that audience that paid a shitload of money to go there, or the hundreds of thousands or millions of people watching live streams and stuff around the world, the most dedicated Blizzard fans, the only forward thinking, the closest thing they got was a mobile game, which is not what the not with the majority, and not a small majority. I would be shocked if it was more than 10% of the people that saw mobile anything and get even mildly excited about. Not even excited. I think excited is the wrong word.
It's
more like passing interest.
Yeah.
Because
I'd download that. Is it free?
Yeah.
I'll download that.
So
I'll try it out.
That's the closest thing to forward looking, which is a scary thing for people watching at home, because now they're thinking especially anyone that's a Blizzard fan. They just watched Mike Morhaime leave the stage. They see nothing but old stuff from before, which is great, and that kind of oils the wheels up. Now what's coming up?
But what's coming?
Now what's next? Now
what's coming?
You got us all jazzed up about this stuff. Now what's coming?
Yeah.
And then they get Diablo on stage. And people have been jonesing for Diablo 4 because Diablo 3 at launch was Blizzard's worst game they ever put out.
Yes.
At launch.
Yes.
It took them 2 years minimum to get it to a point where people went, this is a game that I can now play and not want to poke my eyes out with forks.
Yep.
They took them also 2 years to earn back the goodwill that they lost with the launch of Diablo 3. They finally get that out of the way. Now we're like 6 years deep. Diablo 4. They see Diablo come up on stage, and then the dirtiest word in the minds of anyone watching, because mobile gamers outnumber regular gamers, but they're not the people watching these events, and they're not the people that tend to buy into the mainline series of any of this shit. They're a different breed.
I'm gonna say it. They're not real gamers.
Well, they're not.
I'm just gonna say it.
I'm
just gonna fucking say it.
That's fair.
They're not real fucking gamers. And you know what? Sure, they play games, but they're not. Listen, when you say I'm a gamer, you're in an exclusive group of diehard, real fucking gamers. Whether you're a console gamer, whether you're a PC gamer, anything. Just because you play Fruit Ninja or you play Mario Bouncy Thing or you occasionally pull up whatever other game that King is making doesn't make you a gamer. That's called casual. That's called being a casual. I don't even want to say casual gamer. It's just called being a casual. It's called you're trying to burn a few minutes. Just because you play Hearthstone, listen, the motherfuckers that play Hearthstone on the PC and the motherfuckers that play Hearthstone on the phone,
two different people.
Totally different. One's gamers, one's are casuals that are buying time on the bus or that are sitting in their bed waiting to go to sleep.
And there's crossover there.
There's a little bit, but come on,
mobile gamers are very different. They're like, they tend to be like you just listed.
They're wannabe gamers.
You get the
They're not. Listen, it's like moviegoers. It's like listen. It's like Adam is not a moviegoer.
No,
he likes movies.
I do.
He'll watch them if it's there. There's the occasional movie that'll get him to the theater. It's not saying he doesn't hate movies. Just like, I'm not saying that mobile gamers don't not like games. It's just, you're a casual. You're not in that I don't want to say an elite group, because there's nothing really, because then there's different types of elites within the gaming. But you're not a real gamer. So when Blizzard comes out and they're presenting this shit in front of gamers, and not only just gamers, the elite gamers, these people
for
pay
their company
big money. Like,
to be
these
there
tickets,
in person.
These tickets aren't cheap. People are traveling across the country, across the globe to be there. Their lives are integrated with Blizzard. This is like religion. This is like if somebody went to fucking what's that Joel Ernstein dude, the fucking, or whatever.
Joel
Olstein. It's like these motherfuckers that worship the fucking Joel Ernstein or Oldstein, and they go to his big fucking venue where they're probably remortgaging their homes to be there for the name of God, and they're looking for answers. They want something. They're in love with Diablo. They're waiting. They're getting teased. And then next thing you know it, they're told that if you just put your hands in the air and you chant this, that your sickness or your problems are going to be gone, and they do it. And then they open their eyes and nothing's changed, but instead they've grown a 3rd foot. Or now they've got stage 4 cancer. That's literally how the people, in so much so that they are so salty that for the first time in forever, I've seen people get so mad where there's booing. And we're talking like I've
booing
seen
at a BlizzCon.
Booing at a BlizzCon play. Like there's so many diehard fans that you would literally have to commit murder on stage for somebody to boo that. And if the murder was done in a good cosplay, they still might cheer. These people are absolutely diehards. You have to fuck somebody's spouse. And in order for them to disagree with you, nobody was excited. They said mobile. And the
silence.
There was crickets, and then there was the odd boo, and then they started talking, and it got worse. It got worse and worse and worse. It was a nightmare. So whenever I hear there's only one thing worse than a Diablo mobile game is the cucks that stand up for the Diablo mobile game. And listen, they can go ahead and make the game. Make the game. Yes. It's gonna sell good. They're gonna make a bunch of money. But for the love of Christ, don't make it the big announcement where everybody and their dog is waiting for Diablo 4 or an expansion or something that isn't Diablo Mobile that has no intentions of going to PC whatsoever. So those gamers that are in attendance aren't gonna play your fucking game. They had a section of Diablo Immortal out on the floor, empty. Nobody's there. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. I don't care how it runs.
I bet you 25 to 40 people walked through that and played it for 5 seconds. When I watched the stream or the VOD of it, and they had like cosplay people in cosplay, like in character, playing the mobile game, and I'm watching them all trying to look interested in playing it, and it was fucking painful.
You can't do it.
And then when you saw that big old empty area, and they had like 100 fucking stations set up to play this game, and just empty. I don't think it was empty the whole time. I bet you a few people rolled through, but again, you are talking about such a small, tiny percentage.
It's
and
bad.
It's, again, okay.
Dude, no, one last thing.
Go for
and
it.
then you can go on your rant.
Go for it.
Did you not see that this company that they're working with, I don't know what it is, but they're fucking, that's how much I give zero fucks about this. But anyway, I watched the video, multiple videos now, that they're the company that's helping develop this shit. This game is a literal carbon copy off another game.
It's reskinned and slightly tweaked.
It's so baffling, dude. It's so lazy. It's actually somebody. You guys just
the company's NetEase, by the way.
NetEase.
Yeah.
It's so blatant. I'm telling you, if you guys go out and take 5 minutes out of your day to go and search whatever this other China game or whatever the fuck this other game is, which apparently isn't the worst game ever, but they actually take the exact same game, the same engine, the same shit. Even when you're looking at it, all the logos and things like the buttons that you press on the screen, it's all in the same position. Everything is the same. It's just different skins. You put a little Diablo or a stick figure or a character on it. The animations are the same. Just the words, a little bit of a different color palette, and it's slapped together. It's like, Blizzard, do you think we're fucking stupid? And yes, people are gonna buy this shit, but you know who's not gonna buy it? The gamers, the people that are attending. Say if there's 5,000 people there in attendance, I wouldn't be surprised if more than 500 of them got it, and I wouldn't be more surprised if 100 of them played it more than one sitting. Because it's not what they wanted, and they're not even put it on PC. They're asked, well, listen, okay. If one guy says, is this a fucking April Fool's joke?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, no, okay. Well, are you going to put it on the PC so that we can play it? You know, we love Diablo. We're the ones that made you,
Especially
right?
since you're going to put all of this fucking lore in this specific game that people here would want to know about this lore.
Are you going to put this?
No. Don't you all have phones?
When they said that, I was just...
You know what I immediately had a flashback to? You know what I remember? Do you remember this shit? When Don Matrick, when they were talking about the Xbox One, and he came out on stage, and they were pumping all this fucking NFL whatever shit out, and then they had the thing about always online garbage for Xbox Live stuff, and he said to people in an interview, don't you have the internet? Don't you all just have the internet? It was the same thing.
Yes, I do.
And nobody fucking wanted to hear come out of Don Matrick's fuckboy mouth. Why in the shit, after you announce a mobile game, do you want to hear, don't you all have phones? Well, yes, I have an ass. I don't like to get fucked in it, you dumbass. The fuck? I have a mouth. I don't like sucking dick on the daily either. The fuck is that kind of logic? I have a car. I don't take it to the fucking track and race it. The fuck?
Oh, man, what a colossal failure this is.
So... Okay.
It's anyway. It is what it is. It's a gong show.
So here's my take.
So
on
what?
it.
No, okay. Before you get into that,
okay,
tell everybody what the hell Blizzard was doing after all this. They put out the trailers.
Oh shit!
So
okay.
they try and cover this shit.
So when they're up on stage, they normally they're releasing the trailers as the stuff's happening, right? And they're pumping it up on YouTube. Go and check it out. Blah blah blah. You go there, and it got bombed.
Oh,
Comment section fucked.
Got
Like-dislike ratio, one of the highest, if not the highest I've ever seen. The only one that comes close to
Call
that
of
might
Duty.
have been the Call of Duty video. They took...
Which Call of Duty didn't even take down.
No, but Blizzard took down 2 or 3 times their video and re-uploaded it to reset it.
Yep.
And it still got fucked.
And people started seeing that, and they came
worse.
back even worse.
Which,
and
of
then,
course it got worse. Who the fuck made that executive decision? Hey, guys, it's the internet. Nobody's ever figured this shit out before. Yeah. If we just take the video down and put it back up, everyone will just think it's fucking great. And the like ratio will go through the roof. The fuck? Who's the social media manager?
That's crazy, dude.
Fire their ass.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, why is this back in my resubscription box? What the fuck is going on? Did they change this? It's crazy. And then they started deleting comments, right? So like people were leaving comments and then they were getting thumbs up, and then they started deleting. So it's just been a gong show, and I feel, you know who I feel bad for? Besides obviously the gamers that were
I feel bad for the dudes on stage.
I feel bad for the dudes on stage. And I heard through the grapevine that the Chinese guy that was on the stage had like a mental breakdown behind the scenes.
Dude, he had a mental breakdown on stage.
Yeah, well, no wonder. I mean, you got to think about this. He's probably been working on this for a long time. He was probably really excited to share this. He probably thought it's going to be really exciting for the fans, and you know, he's pumped up. And then when you go out there, and it's like a comedian that goes on stage and he's like, "Man, I've been working on this material for a long time. I'm gonna fucking slay this shit.
And it's a dead room.
I've been telling this to my friends and my family, and they've been busting the gut." And he goes on stage and he throws out a couple jokes, and it's not landing. And then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna give him a haymaker. I know they're gonna laugh for this. This is perfect. Guess what, guys? It's coming on mobile." And then the boos happen. And then now he's sweating.
Now he's stumbling.
And now he's stumbling over words.
Yeah.
He's trying to remember his lines. He's not having a good time anymore.
No.
He's freaking out. He can probably see what we don't see.
And
the disgust on people's faces.
In the back of his mind, he knew it was probably not going to go over that well. He didn't think it was probably going to go as bad as it did.
Yeah.
But he definitely thought to himself, "This is going to go bad, so I've got to be hype." And he went out there, and God bless the guy. He went out there, and he had his hype meter turned to fucking 87.
He was ready
the whole time, which probably made the crowd even more hype about the fact that there's a Diablo thing going on, and this guy is jacked about this whole thing. And then it happened, and his hype meter went to negative 87 instead, and the crowd starts booing, and he starts stumbling over words, and now he's trying to salvage the situation. And again, I feel bad for him. Because I can guarantee, obviously, the 2 guys on stage didn't make the decision to make this game.
No.
The dudes at the very top said, we need to get into China because there's 130 million mobile people and growing in China right now, and they love mobile games. We already have a company that we can partner with that we've quasi-worked with in the past that we can reskin a game.
We can copy their game.
And it already sells like hotcakes. And we can make a shitload of money off of this and make all the investors jerk off in their own fucking tears of joy. But we're not going to announce it. We're not going to announce it at an event that might make more sense. You know, one that's not going to burn goodwill.
Anything, man. Do it at a E3. Do it at a PAX. Do it at a TwitchCon. Do it anywhere other than this.
It's a two-sided thing, right? So for the fans, even if you understand that it is a pure money play, which it is for no other reason than a pure money play, which again, the company then go do whatever they want, it's fine, it's fucking whatever. But if you've built the company on the gamers that are in that room,
yes,
there is some level of
and the people watching.
Yes, there's some level of respect that you want to have for them where maybe this isn't the place or the way to announce this, even if you think the investors or the people that you're going to work with in China are watching this event to see this get announced. Even if that is the case, which I don't understand how that can make it any better, because you've already talked to everyone in China in person
and don't make it the meat. If you're gonna announce it at BlizzCon, that's fine. But don't make it the fucking show. Like, that's the show.
After talking shit about Bethesda, I never thought I'd say this, but Blizzard could take a page out of Bethesda's book.
I know.
Because what did they do at E3?
Yep.
Bethesda get up on that stage.
The exact same thing, but better.
God Howard. God Howard. I wanted to say it's Todd Howard. Anyway, God Howard gets out on stage.
Yep.
And he crushes it. He slays it.
Oh, yeah.
Todd Howard is
everybody likes him. He's charismatic.
You can't hate Todd Howard. He crushes it.
He's like, I fucked your wife today.
And you're like,
nice.
And you're like, yeah, you go, Todd. Yeah.
Do that, Todd.
So Todd gets out, and he knows it's also going to be bad, even though the game that they made is scratch. That's not a copied anything.
Yep.
It looks good.
Yep.
Even I kind of want to, like, low-key play the damn thing, or at least try it out. But it's because it wasn't done in a weird way. It wasn't the only thing they showed. And more specifically, when people had been waiting for Elder Scrolls 6 announcement for so long, and they got tired of seeing Skyrim ported at everything, to the point where they made a joke and put it on Alexa, and they actually made that a real fucking thing.
Yeah, dude.
Like, they went
smart, dude. It's smart.
A genius.
It's smart.
And then they followed it up.
They trolled the trolls, but it was wicked.
They knew exactly how to just keep the shit in check after announcing a mobile Elder Scrolls game.
Yep.
They literally, all they had to do, a JPEG on screen that they slow zoomed on a JPEG and played some quasi-Morrowind-ass sound of music.
Dum, dum.
And fucking had the logo Elder Scrolls 6 just fucking pop, and that was it. That was all they had to do. And everyone just started rapidly masturbating right there.
Everyone's like,
public.
yes, I forget about the mobile game. This is fucking awesome.
That's it.
The mobile game will hold me over. I can't wait for this thing to come out.
And you know what?
Holy shit, yes.
They came out and they were like, this game is literally fucking 40 years away. And everyone said,
who
don't
cares?
Care. All we needed to hear. All we needed to hear is it's coming. That's all we needed to hear.
I have time to finish my Skyrim game and I can play this fucking mobile game that actually looks decent.
That's all they needed to hear.
I got something coming. They didn't even do that with Diablo.
They couldn't
said
come
no.
on stage.
This was the beginning, middle, and closer of the event.
Nothing.
Get fucked. No
and
Diablo
then,
4. No screenshot. No JPEG.
After all this shit, and they take down videos and re-upload videos and change their social media icons back to Diablo 3 because they were getting fucked on. All this gong show, this fire control, this just God help us all. We're Blizzard and we don't know how to handle this situation. They actually come out and they start. I fucking promise you that Blizzard sent a couple of people from as disconnected as possible and said, all right, guys, I need you to take this to some news sites that we had plans to announce. So just talk about Diablo 4. And last second, we decided not to do it because we didn't want to disappoint people by saying we didn't have anything to show. Bullshit! Bullshit you did!
It's lies.
You had nothing!
It's lies.
You decided not to! You went all in on a Chinese play, and to back that shit up, they announced that they are working on mobile games for every fucking IP under their belts! Which is not a shocking development, and I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm not even saying that the Diablo mobile game is shit. I'm more upset about the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, all that shit as to that announcement, with nothing to back it up, at least out of respect for the people that paid thousands of fucking dollars. Nobody was there for mobile!
Nope.
Nobody!
Nope.
0 people!
None.
And it's not like so many people, like not so many, I shouldn't say that, like 3 people that I know in our circle have come out defending this shit. Which is fine. Defend the game. It's fine. Like, I'm not saying, again, I'm not arguing. I'm not
how
arguing
they delivered it.
It's the delivery and the fact that they had nothing.
Yeah, it was terrible.
For anyone.
It was terrible.
Of their core people.
It's terrible.
If you need to make money as a company, go fucking do it.
Yeah,
but
so you can keep making the stuff we love. That's great.
But don't just completely, just literally throw everyone under the bus that has they're at your event and has gotten you to this event point.
Yeah, but Adam, don't you have a phone? Don't you have a phone? That thing you have right there. Stop complaining. Go, it's free to play. You have a phone. Play it.
Look, this is what I have to say about this, all right? Okay. Blizzard stock went down almost 7% or some shit.
Can we talk about the real winner here?
NetEase went up. So this tells you exactly how this is going to go.
Of course.
So NetEase gets the upside. Blizzard shit gets the, you know what? Here I had a dirty thought, and this is movie level shit, so I'm almost positive this isn't the case. Okay? But just follow me on this train of logic. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. If they did in fact pull the Diablo 4 announcement out last second, if they did do that shit, which I doubt that was the case, but here's my thought. They go out and they make this the only thing. This would be fucking filthy. They've got people shorting on Blizzard on their stock drop and buying at NetEase. And then when this shit drops and is down, and they make on both sides.
Then they go, hey, we got Diablo 4 coming.
And then they buy back Blizzard because it's gonna ramp back up anyway because people will forget about this shit and make money on both sides.
That's some next level shit. I don't think that's the case.
Look, if you're going to go out and only announce a Diablo 4 game and it's mobile, and that's or Diablo 4, not Diablo 4,
yes,
Diablo game
3.
and it's mobile.
Yeah. Listen, you want to know who the real winner was here?
Not me.
Path of Exile.
Path of Exile was the real winner.
Path of Exile winning. I mean, all of those guys that developed Path of Exile, which is like 4.5 people,
they were sweating.
Oh, they were sweating their balls off, bro.
Like,
they were going.
God,
they were going. Okay. They're
Diablo
going.
4.
Oh man, you know what? We're that dark horse for Blizzard. We're that game we're the Diablo that they want, that the fans wanted, and we've got a diehard cult following. And we're planning on doing some things here, but we gotta hold this close to the chest because BlizzCon's coming. It's been 6 years. They've got to come up with an expansion or announce a Diablo 4. And if that's the case, we've got some fucking work to do because at this point, if they announce a Diablo 4, they get me excited, right?
Yeah,
because then I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna give Diablo another shot, right? Because I love Diablo, but I just didn't fall in love with Diablo 3 because of the horrible start, and then I never got back into it because the bridge was burnt, and I was interested in other things. So Path of Exile is shitting bricks, and they're watching intently, and then they come out and they announce Immortal on mobile, and the champagne comes out. And then they see the booze and the cries, and then the cocaine comes out, and then they see the Q&A and the downvotes, and
male
the deleting.
Female strippers everywhere.
Now the strippers are in there. Then they close the BlizzCon event on more Diablo Immortal. Now they're sniffing the cocaine off the strippers' asses. And then after they're done waking up from their fucking coke pussy-induced coma, they come out and they announce shit tons of new fire content for their game.
Yeah, it's coming to PS4, the big content update.
And now it's just like, Path of Exile right now. I'd love to know how many downloads the game has got and how many people have tuned in to Path of Exile after the aftermath of this. I would like the stocks in whatever company's running that shit because these guys are on cloud 9. They thought that they were going to have an uphill climb and a half because no matter what, you're always going to be number 2 to Blizzard.
Well,
just
they were
sheer size.
They were banking that announcement to go up against Diablo,
yes,
right?
Yes.
It just so happens that they got to play their hand with literally nothing on the other side.
That's great.
Blizzard flopped their hand. They had a 7 and a 2, an offsuit 7-2,
7-deuce offsuit.
Yeah,
and Path of Exile had Ace King. Flop came Ace King. The nuts were drawn, and that's just it. That's just it. They didn't even have to go to the turn or river. It was just over.
It was over.
He just called it. Just called. It's like, I'm all in. Call. Snap call.
Snap call. Blizzard's, think about
Blizzard's like at that Asian dude on stage holding a 7-deuce offsuit, and he's
we gotta bluff him, boys.
He's looking up at him, and he's like, you know what? All in. Path of Exile, call. Game over. It's over. We've got you covered. It's done. It's over.
That's so perfect.
That's it.
So in summary for that shit, look, I feel bad for the two dudes on stage. I really do, because
I do too.
Unfortunately the community always ends up focusing on the wrong people. Like, they end up blaming the dudes on stage. They didn't orchestrate the whole fucking thing. Their job was to work on this for their money, like for their career, and then go out on stage and literally be martyrs for the fucking people in the corporate room.
I know this sounds semi-racist, but who is the Asian guy anyway? Like,
so,
what is his role?
At least one of those two guys, and I can't remember which one it is because I'm not that deep into Diablo, has been like he is like a 14-year or some shit veteran. Like,
do you think they brought out the Asian guy for the Asian market? Like,
no.
do you think that was like
yes,
that was a play, right?
Yes.
Because you see that all, especially in the movie business, right? They get that Asian so they can appeal to the market.
I think it was a bit of column A, a bit of column B.
I think it was strategically done because who else are they playing for, right?
Yeah,
they're not playing for the North American market. Like, that's not their. I mean, they'll get people in it, but
so he that's what I thought. So it is him. Yeah. So he is the lead developer for the Diablo.
Okay, well, so he's deserves to be there.
Yes.
Like, he should be the guy. But it is kind of funny that, you know, the Asian dude is the one that's
he's the guy that saved Diablo 3 after the launch, basically.
And now he's the guy who is...
And now he's the guy that had to take the fall.
He's the face of the fall.
He is. And that's unfortunate, and I feel bad for him. But, you know, it is what it is. So again, for me, just to clarify, because we did a lot of shouting.
Yeah,
I want to bring it back down for a second.
Let's bring it
back down for a second.
Let's bring it down.
I have literally nothing against the fact that Blizzard is making any mobile game ever. Everyone's going to make mobile games because from a monetary perspective,
everybody's got a phone.
It is by far the biggest play for money. They're cheaper games to make. They're cheaper to maintain. And you just put it out there and you make a fucking fortune. Okay, so it is that's fine. I have nothing against that. The game doesn't even look that bad. Even though it's reskinned and like slightly updated, whatever, there's a reason why it's there and it's been chosen for that. It's because the game isn't terrible. Great.
Still don't care.
The lore is probably fire. I don't personally care. It's fine. It's whatever. I just don't think a couple things. One, if it's going to be your only announcement to really follow that up, you need to just come out and say, Diablo 4 is coming, guys. I know we don't have anything to show you. And we know this probably looks like we're abandoning everyone here right now. We need you to believe that's not the case. We have been working, because you know they've been working on Diablo 4 for probably a couple years. We just don't have anything to show you yet. It is coming. This we're working with. It's not like the whole team is working on this. It's a couple of us plus the NetEase guys.
That's all they need to say.
And we're making that shit.
That's all they needed to say.
Literally all they needed to say, and they didn't even get that far. So with nothing else at BlizzCon, with the fact like nobody sat down and went, all right, guys, how does this BlizzCon look? Let's just go over this. Mike Morhaim's leaving the company. That's a pretty fucking big bullet to fucking bite on. Pretty hard pill to swallow as it stands. Next up, what do we got for announcements? Well, we're doing this World of Warcraft Classic server thing. Okay, that's gonna make like 20,000 people happy. We got this Warcraft 3 Reforged thing. All right, that's gonna make a good chunk of people happy because people like Warcraft and you know they've been clamoring for Warcraft 4 and stuff. We can't give them that, but we can give them this. That's great. You know, the Overwatch stuff is happening. That's great. All right. Well, we don't actually have anything major to go, but we are. I mean, Diablo, right? Just slot that in, and nobody stopped and went, you know, if we announce this, how does that look? Nobody stopped, apparently, and thought about it for more than 0.2 of a second.
And I refuse, and I've seen people make this argument. I refuse to believe that Blizzard is that clueless, right? I refuse to believe
Are you putting this on Activision?
Yes.
Okay.
I refuse to believe that Blizzard, and listen, maybe I'm just cynical like that. I don't know, but I truly believe that Michael Morhaim started to see the direction that this company was going,
100%,
and he just does, and I think fundamentally, you know, he doesn't agree with what's going on,
yeah.
and there comes a time where I think he's stepping down. You know, whether he's been forced, maybe it's one of those things where he's just not getting along with the higher ups. He's getting outvoted, or I don't know what the deal is. Because you know this is the bet he made when he decided to partner up with Activision, become, you know, Activision Blizzard or whatever, or Blizzard Activision, however it goes.
Yeah.
You know, this is the bed that he decided to lie in, and that's fine. But coming now with Call of Duty, it's on the launcher. It has that taint now, and Blizzard has been tainted, and it's not all a bad thing. I'm not saying that Call of Duty is a bad game. I actually think that this is the best Call of Duty we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it's still Call of Duty. It's still doing the things that Activision does, and on top of that, now Activision, and I'm not saying Blizzard isn't about making money, because sure as shit, everyone's in it to make money. It's a business, and they should be. But I think ultimately, and once again, I'm just projecting. I have no idea. I'm speculating here. But I really, truly believe that Michael Morhaime said, you know what? My love of StarCraft, that's not going. This part is gone. We can't continue making a Warcraft 4. I've done everything in my power. I've built this empire. You know, we've got these mega hits: Hearthstone, Overwatch, World of Warcraft. Everything is going great. How much further can we take this? And it's gotten to the point now where I think Activision comes in now and is taking sort of over. They're taking over the direction of Blizzard, and now we're going to get these mobile games, and now it's going to be about keeping shareholders happy, which I'm sure it's always been, but it's always been cautiously done, or at least tastefully done, in a way that's always been fan service to the true diehards. And now that those big heads are leaving, it just feels like, I'm not saying they can't produce great games and it can't be fun, but that spirit, it's like I know this is a really harsh analogy, but it's like when that key family member passes away, and the family get-togethers are no longer the same. They're just not the same anymore. Sure, the love is still there, and you're getting together, and it's great and it's fun, but something's missing. The heart is missing, and I feel like this is the turning point. This is where that heart is gone. I'm not saying that good memories can't be created from here on out. I'm not saying that it's not going to have its moments, but this is now going to be turned into a well-oiled machine, and we're going to start to see a lot of executive decisions that the die-hard gamer higher ups are no longer going to make. It's now going to be about the business guys. It's going to be about making the coin. And this is, I think that's the reason why he left. I could be wrong. It could be just like he's done it. He's made his money. He wants to live the rest of his life without, wanting to die of stress. But I truly believe, just from what we're seeing, that it has to be that. Maybe he'll come out 6 months down the road or a year down the road and talk about it. Maybe we'll get an interview and he'll talk about it or whatever. Maybe not. But I just feel like we're on the decline right now in terms of what we're gonna get from Blizzard.
I just don't know. Again, it's so to tackle. I want to tackle something else about it. It's the fan reactions, or how the fan reactions have gone, right? It's one thing for you and I to sit here and yell and scream, whatever, but there are people that, because it just seems to be the thing to do, they blow shit. They blow shit up, then they start making it personal. They start attacking employees. They start, going a little crazy with it. I think there was a little too much circling around the dude that said, "Is this an April Fool's joke?" Let's be very real. A lot of people in that room were thinking
that same thing. Yeah.
Does it make it right that he said it? No, but it's an
open forum too,
but
right?
That is representative of the majority. Whether or not you want to believe that because you want to believe that Blizzard fans are better than everyone else, tough shit. No, they're not. The thing that I think Blizzard will have to now realize, if they haven't at this point, is that they're not immune from backlash in the ways that we now experience backlash in all media, whether it's movies and TV, video games, whatever. It all seems to happen the same way. If you make a misstep, you're going to get shit on. Does that make it right for the people that go about it the wrong way, and you end up with like movie stars deleting social media accounts and shit? Fuck no. Of course not. But what it does mean is that you have to seriously take into consideration the management of expectations if you want to continue to keep goodwill of your most hardcore and vocal, which might be the most important part in the social media age, fan base. If you don't have the support of your most, the most vocal out there, and that's what people are seeing on a daily basis, then that's going to eventually hurt you. And if all you have to do is something as silly as go out and do what Bethesda did and show a JPEG with a slow fucking zoom on it, how hard is that to do? If that's not gonna get rid of all of your problems, but my God, would that have cut back a huge amount? And that guy would not have got up and said, "Is this an April Fool's joke?"
No,
if they had shown 5 seconds.
He would have said,
JPEG.
"Hey, I don't have any question about Immortal. Let's talk about Diablo 4."
He might have still asked if it was going to come on PC.
Yeah,
but that's really about it. And then the way that they handled it with, don't you all have phones and shit? They just kept like adding fuel to a fire that they themselves started when they didn't have to. So it's everyone has to deal with this. It's not just Blizzard, and it doesn't make it right again. But it's reality.
Do you think this opens them up for? What I fear for Blizzard now. I don't know if you agree, but I think that now that this has happened for the first time ever in Blizzard's history, I mean, people have talked shit about Blizzard before and have been upset with changes in games or whatever. But this is the first time that they've actually got this kind of heat. Like we're talking like EA level. Hate like Star Wars Battlefront or whatever and shit. Like
this is Blizzard's first foray into.
But now that it's happened, I'm concerned that this is going to be Blizzard's gonna be walking on eggshells, and I feel like now that the seal has been broken, you've been drinking all night. You took your first piss.
Now it's
now
over.
You're pissing. Like every 15, you drink half a beer and you're back and you're pissing.
Yeah.
I feel like now, every time Blizzard makes a big announcement, that they're going to be open to this, to this type of backlash if people are not happy. And it might not even have to be at this level. We're talking if say, for example, World of Warcraft comes up with another expansion,
right.
It just doesn't look good, or it's disappointing in some way. I think for the first time, now from here on out, we're gonna have people that are gonna be vocal, that are gonna speak up, and they're gonna, and it's like they've been wounded, right? It's like somebody that's been cheated on. You're waiting for the next relationship for you to be cheated on, even though they might not have. It's like, listen,
exactly.
you can't expect everybody to be cheating on you because you have one bad experience, but now they've been burned. So now there's going to be always this question of what kind of fuckery are you doing and why are you doing this, right? And before it was like, in Blizzard we trust. It'll be ready when Blizzard says it's ready, and it's okay. Nobody batted an eye. We just knew. It might not have been the best game in the world, but it was going to be competent. It was going to be well built. It was going to run well, and that was the show. Now we're in a different realm because that seal's been broken, and that's not good. That's not good.
It's tough because I don't think it shouldn't be hard for Blizzard because of how much quality they have behind them and how much goodwill they have with their fans even after this. I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily hard for them to get around that if they just don't have any other really particularly huge missteps for a few years. And given how many games Blizzard releases, it's not really a hard thing for them to do. If they hire some people with a brain to manage the people that go out on stage, or how this stuff is going to look to the consumers, because whoever orchestrated this, fire them yesterday, or her, or whoever the fuck did it. Fire them, because this is the worst managed event you could have actually hoped for, and there would be something to be said if mitigating it was a really steep hill for them to climb, but it wasn't. It was a very simple.
Yeah.
You don't even have to promise anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm with you.
So
I'm with you.
So so it's not impossible for them to get around that and get it back. They did it with Diablo 3. People are still making callbacks to Diablo. I mean, I made a callback in this conversation about how bad the launch of Diablo 3 was. It was their worst launch of all time, since they've been, the modern era of Blizzard, without question. And so this is definitely going to get called back to. Not only that they did it, but their response to it. The fact that somebody again made the decision to take down videos and re-upload them 2 or 3 times.
It was such a gong.
That's such a tone-deaf, stupid,
and it's not a Blizzard. It's not
thing.
the Blizzard way.
No,
it's just not what Blizzard's like. That high quality of
Dude,
like
EA didn't do that shit with the Call of Duty video.
Yeah,
or not EA, Activision.
Yeah, Activision.
Didn't even do that shit.
It's
EA doesn't do that shit.
You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is. We'll see where we go from here. We'll see how Blizzard picks up the pieces. We'll see the quality of the game, because that Immortal game better not suck. Because if it sucks as well, whoo, they're not only going to get an even bigger backlash, but they're also going to get backlash for every mobile game that they decide to announce from here on out. People are going to fucking lose their minds.
There'll be a Warcraft one. There's
definitely going to be a WoW one.
StarCraft. They'll figure out some way of making that happen.
Oh, it better not. They're better.
They already have Hearthstone.
Well, that makes sense. That's a mobile that makes sense.
And it's already here. It's whatever.
And World of Warcraft,
sense,
to a degree, makes sense, right? Because look what old school RuneScape has done. They've gone mobile too, and it's like been this resurgence. Apparently, a bunch of people are playing it all the time. But I can't. It's just don't let this Immortal game suck. That's all I gotta say. Even if we don't want to buy it,
it's not.
At least let it be good.
It's not for us. It's just not for us.
I know.
It's not, and it's not for the people that were in that room. It's not for people watching it at home. It was for about 10% of them, maybe. And it's really for other markets. It's for the mobile market, which is, again, it's not. It's like that's like saying that you make announcements at E3, and focus on mobile only for your entire presentation.
You just don't do that. You just don't.
Like, do you really think that people? I mean, you're at that
I
point.
have
You're
a phone,
making,
but I still don't want it.
You're not making it for the people watching who are going to buy it. You're making it at best for investors.
Yeah.
At best. So, but you have to play both sides of the field. You can't just play solely to the investors. It's going to go bad.
It's going to go real bad.
You have to, and that's the thing about.
And on top of that, investors probably also want to see that the fans are happy. You know what I mean? Like, because most investors,
investors, as long as the money's coming in.
I know, but most investors are, they project things, right? They look at an audience because they're not going to be looking like, you take a look at the stock. I mean,
most people just look at the stock line.
Well, the stock line,
at the ticker.
The stock line for Blizzard didn't go down, didn't do so hot, but I guess the other one went up. So
it'll come back up. Though.
Oh, I know it'll come back up. It's Blizzard. So anyway,
but I mean, it's the same thing. People, here's the thing: is that people, if certain things keep going well, people just don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. It's the reason in the States right now. If the economy is good, and this goes for Canada too, if the economy is good. And the unemployment rate is relatively low, you could literally do things short of start a nuclear war or start a mass genocide. And even that might be passable for a lot of people. They will keep putting that person back in power so long as those two things, because what it allows them to do is continue about their normal lives and fill their fucking head full of shit that it makes them able to ignore literally everything else that's happening in the world because it's not affecting them in their own little circle. Yep. So that's the same thing applies with here. Eventually, shit's going to blow over. They're going to par for the course. People are going to go back to playing their Blizzard games.
Yep.
Diablo 4 is going to come out eventually.
Yep.
They're going to get excited for Diablo 4.
And we'll forget this nightmare ever happened.
And it's just going to be whatever.
Extent. Yeah.
You know, that's just reality.
All right, well, I am officially drained.
Mr. Black.
Yeah.
Hit me up with the sound of movies and TV.
Movies and TV.
The Walking Dead. You had some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly talk about The Walking Dead. I guess there'll be a semi-spoiler here for those that, I mean, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, chances are you've already seen the finale, what happened on the last season. So, but in case you haven't, mute now. As I'm gonna I'm gonna spoil-ish what went down to a degree. I won't give any specific details, but the reason why it's important
just for your safety,
for your safety, if you're that inclined to really know the fate of a character, then mute now. All right, so Rick Grimes, is that his name?
Yep.
Yeah. The dude that is the front runner, the star of The Walking Dead. It's been there since season 1. It's been teased for a while that he was going to die on the show.
It wasn't teased. They outright said that he's leaving the show.
That he's leaving the show. So apparently the second last episode, he got fucked up real bad. He went through a pole or something, and then in the last episode, he ends up taking out a whole bunch of zombies or something. He shoots like an explosive or some shit, and he gets blown up. So people have been assuming that that he's leaving the show, and he is. But here's the kicker. And I don't know, maybe a lot of people don't know this.
Rick is definitely still alive.
Oh, he's definitely alive. In fact, he gets taken away by helicopter.
One of the garbage people's helicopters.
So I don't. Anyway, I haven't watched the show, but this is basically the reason why I'm saying this is this.
Yes.
He gets taken away in a helicopter. Now he's gone. Okay. What AMC is doing is now they're creating 3 movies with Rick's character by himself with new people, and they're going to be releasing those movies on TV. And the old cast is now going to be continuing their journey with future seasons, meeting new people and things like that. So apparently the synopsis for the Rick movies are he travels far, he's seeing another part of the world or something, and it's affected differently. Apparently there's these new types of zombies or an enhanced zombies or something.
Oh, enhanced.
I don't know. They're not the same anymore. I haven't been following, but
they're fast zombies.
Who
where
knows?
He goes.
28 Days Later type zombies.
Exactly.
Who knows? But anyway, they are going to be creating 3 movies, and then who knows? We may see him back on the TV show. Maybe 2 seasons down the road or whatever. But anyway, they made it seem like he was dying. And so there was huge viewership coming in to kind of see this. He doesn't actually die. He's going to be making 3 movies, and they're starting to film these soon. They just won't let The Walking Dead die.
The closest thing to intriguing that show's been in ages was an episode, I think it was last season, where the garbage people is what I'm going to call them anyway. Because their base was at a dump, for all intents and purposes. The leader tries to get out, and she sets off like this flare or something, and a helicopter literally shows up, and she can't get to it. That was the closest thing to intrigue that show has had in forever. Just on the idea that who the fuck was flying the helicopter? Why do they have a helicopter?
They set that up.
And why in the shit was she having access to something that would call this fucking helicopter? Why wasn't she just there already?
Watch the movies and find out, Adam. Watch the movies and find out. So anyway, that's all I want to say about The Walking Dead.
So you know what I want to say about AMC? Fucking stop the commercial runs, man.
That's terrible, man.
It's the worst by far. I've never seen anything so.
Spike's worse.
I will
Spike's
not.
worse.
Well, yeah, I will not watch any AMC show without recording it.
Yeah, you have to DVR them
because it's literally like a Walking Dead episode could be like an hour and 15 minutes. You are getting, and not even hyperbole, you are getting like 35 minutes of advertisement. It's insane. I've never seen anything so egregious. They'll play like 3 minutes of TV show with ads to either side of it, and the ad break is longer than the 3 minutes of the TV show that you just watched.
It's horrible, man. They got to sell those advertisers.
I've never seen anything so bad. It's worse than anything in the 90s. It's worse than anything ever.
It's like watching a YouTube video, 10-minute YouTube video, and they've got 17 ads sprinkled in every fucking 22 seconds, so they can just milk that ad revenue.
It's awful.
Put 2 or 3 of them in there and call it a day and fuck off. How does that sound?
their encoding quality on their channel is garbage. It looks like it's encoded at like fucking YouTube circa 2009.
It's because it is.
It's terrible.
What's next?
Let's see here. Breaking Bad movies. Because everyone gets a movie. You get a movie, and you get a movie.
It's another.
And you get a movie. Let's take our popular TV shows and just fucking run them into the ground.
Yeah. So this is the new thing now. TV's becoming the big thing. Netflix is big. Movies are doing big things. Or TV shows are doing big things. So now they're talking about doing a Breaking Bad. Obviously, Walter White is no longer there. Brian Cranston came out and said he hasn't been approached by the writing team, but if he is asked to come back, he would do it. I think if Walter White does come back, it's probably for flashbacks of some sort, or because obviously he's dead. But the show will go around Jesse. So what happens to Jesse afterwards? We don't really get that closure in the show. So a movie about him. Does he continue to keep doing this line of work? How does he get out? So on and so forth. Is it something that we need? No. Is it something that we want? No. Is it something I'll watch? Yes, probably, because I've spent so much time.
Yeah.
I've watched the seasons twice. I've actually never watched more than 3 episodes of Better Call Saul, which I actually hear is really good. The writers are good. I'm sure it'll be good, but it's just something we don't need. It's just like, you've got a great mind. You're a great writer. You've got great vision. Just go and create. Go and be creative. Is it that hard to sell something to investors these days?
Yes.
That they just want to rehash the old shit.
Everything is a remake.
Fucking terrible.
Everything's a remake.
It's a remake or it's an origin.
Extension
and I don't
yeah.
fucking care about either. I don't need an origin for every little thing. Like, whatever happened to the day where something would start as an origin and then you'd work your way into the story. Now it's like, you know what? Let's just give it the meat, and then if it does well, we'll try and put an origin story in there.
Here's the thing. Somebody a long time ago found out that you start a book, you start the narrative from the middle, and then you flash back to the beginning, you work your way through, you catch up, and then you continue the story. And then that turned into, somebody figured out that people really like sequels, and if we just frame prequels like we do sequels, it will make just as much money, and now here we are.
Yep. Another new movie news that we didn't put in.
What's that?
Bad Boys coming back.
Oh, right. They had a kind of a cringeworthy tweet video that they put out about that for it.
It was Martin Lawrence and Will Smith are coming back for Bad Boys 4.
Yes.
I think it's the 4th one.
A segue from what we just talked about.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens. It's something that they talked about for years, but finally they've got a script. They've signed the deals. They're getting ready to do that. And then the other thing, Avatar. James,
how many movies are coming, Jeff?
Well, I knew it was announced that James Cameron was working on 4 more installations or installments. There we go.
Installments, there you go.
For Avatar. Let me just get this up here. Let me give you guys the titles and release dates. Okay, so James Cameron is going to be releasing the next Avatar in 2020. And that Avatar is called...
The Last Airbender.
No, it's called The Way of Water. Okay? So that's coming in 2020. Then in 2021, we have got Avatar 3. And this is called...
The Way of Fire.
The Seed Bearer.
All right, so the way of Earth, okay?
Okay. Then we have another Avatar, Avatar 4, or... Yeah,
Yep,
Avatar 4.
Yep.
December 2024. Okay, so it's going to be 3 years later.
Your child's going to be in school.
And this one is called The Tolkien Rider.
Okay.
And then Avatar 5.
That's The Way of the Air.
Comes in 2025. And it's called The Quest for Eywa. Eywa. There we go. So that is...
The Way of God.
The Way of God.
Yes.
So there it is. James Cameron has been working on these movies for a while. Remember, the last Avatar came out in 2009.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Right? So that's a long time.
He's been waiting for his technology to get better, probably.
He was.
Which is what James Cameron does. He waits like 20 years in between movies.
So
and then,
apparently, I think they've already started filming. In fact, I know they have because they've shown footage, not footage, but back scene photos and things of the crew and shit. Apparently, this one is going to be, of course, the most advanced, technologically superior film
Like Avatar
experience
was.
that you'll ever have in
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah.
Which I believe, because James Cameron is. I mean, listen.
Terminator 2 and Avatar, Titanic.
I mean, the
and
guy.
he does it.
He does it. He just
makes it happen.
He just makes it happen.
Yeah.
So, am I excited for these movies? I wouldn't say I'm excited. I'm sure as we get closer and I see a good preview, and I'm a huge movie goer. So, if I can go to IMAX and just have my mind blown, you kind of like
all I'm going to it for.
not Inception, but Interstellar,
Yeah.
and you're just seeing, and it's incredible,
I'll
right?
I'll be real with you. I'm going to these Avatar movies specifically for
The
the
experience.
visual,
Yeah.
audio visual. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not there for characters.
No.
I'm not there for writing.
No.
I'm not there for story of any kind.
Yeah.
Because the first Avatar
It's
was one of
Pocahontas.
the biggest phone-ins,
Yeah.
and some of the most average acting and annoying characters that could have possibly been in that movie, saved by the fact that it was a spectacle.
Yeah.
And that's what the next 3
These are what-
Avatar movies are going to likely also be.
So we're getting the cast members coming. They're going to start announcing new cast members soon. There's going to be new characters. Obviously, the first Avatar, 2 hours 42 minutes. These avatars, I'm sure, are going to be lengthy as well, anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours long. We're basically getting a new Lord of the Rings type thing, where we're getting a
Except
whole
Lord of the Rings isn't just a spectacle.
Yeah, well, it's not. But some of them are kind of anyway. That's I know there's some dieharders out there, but
they're not fast-paced movies.
no, they're not. And I don't think these are going to be either. I think that he's going to tell a big, complete story that is going to have obviously tons of hours to do.
And then James Cameron's going to retire and be done.
Yes, well, either that or wait like another fucking 15 years and do another movie
At 90?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, James Cameron, biggest box office director, writer in the history of in film.
Yep.
And I'm sure Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all going to be multi-billion-dollar movies.
Huge money.
Period.
Huge money.
There's not even in a universe where they're not at least $1 billion movie, more than likely going to be 1.5 to 2 billion, and will make movies like Infinity War look like
Child's Play.
Child's Play.
Which is a bit of a problem, because then when a movie only makes, $300 million, people go,
like,
we can't make that movie again. It only made $300 million.
Pretty much. But let's also like they spent, I think it was like almost $500 million to make Avatar. So it was, God only knows the type of money, and the amount of advertisement they did for that movie was fucking insane. It was everywhere.
Yes, it was.
The crazy thing, though, people loved Avatar. I actually liked Avatar a lot. I know if you just look beyond the generic story, it did create a world that was incredible, and everybody that when they left the theater, they all wanted to live in this planet, in this utopia. People wanted to be this species. I forget the name of them. The
Na'vi.
The Na'vi or whatever. It's now Avatar World is coming in Disney. Actually, it's already there in Disney World. And there's rumor now, also with Star Wars, how they were releasing Star Wars every year. We're thinking that now Star Wars is only going to release once every 2 years. So we're going to get this next movie next December. And then we're going to get Rian Johnson's working on a new trilogy that's not to do with the Skywalkers. But what we're thinking is Star Wars is going to be every 2 years for an episodic one. And rumor is Disney is going to end up buying all the rights and buying out Avatar. This is probably going to be an even bigger ordeal than what we're at right now, because Disney's buying everything. Disney just buys. I mean, they just buy it all up, and I think that this is obviously already a multi-billion-dollar franchise. I think Disney's going to end up buying it. That way, they're not going to be competing with Avatar and Star Wars, and we're probably going to get Avatar, Star Wars, Avatar, Star Wars, Avatar, Star Wars for the next 7 years.
Disney needs to stop.
The madness.
Just stop, Disney.
What's next?
What's next? Hit me up with the sound of tech support.
Tech support.
All right, let's see what we've got here. This comes in from Jarda. This I think this is a newbie.
Oh.
$10 lifetime, $10 current. Let's go.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. What are your top 3 sports? Sports ball.
Okay.
What do you got?
MMA.
Okay.
By far.
Okay.
I'm like an MMA encyclopedia.
Okay.
I spend at least I always not made fun of, but I always questioned like Kayla's brother, so my brother-in-law, my father-in-law.
Stats guys.
They are the dudes. Whenever I'm over their house or they're over here, they immediately put the channel to Sports Center or whatever.
Yeah.
And they you know how like Sports Center and stuff, though there's like a half-hour segment and they just rerun that bitch for like
until they have
new shit to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
So like that's them.
Yeah.
That's me with
MMA.
with MMA, with
Okay.
UFC, MMA. I spend at least 2 hours, probably 3 hours a day watching MMA podcasts, videos, all that stuff, and I watch obviously all the fights. So that is by far number 1. Number 2, I will go basketball. I've actually recently not been watching basketball, but there's this really cool YouTube channel. The guy's a genius, by the way, and he's getting millions and millions of views every single day. He highlights the basketball game so that you basically see every single point. You can skip all the filler, and it's usually about only a 10-minute video. So what I've been doing as of late, anything with the Warriors or with the Lakers, because the only 2 teams I follow, just because LeBron and Curry. I watch all those highlights of the games. And that's what I've been watching. The occasional other stuff, just because I find it interesting. So I would say basketball is number 2. And I've only started doing that this year, actually, which is weird. And then number 3, actually, let me reverse that. Number 2 is going to be golf.
Okay.
Number 3 is basketball, because I do watch and keep up with golf more than basketball.
Fair
especially enough. if Tiger's playing, I'm locked in.
You and 80% of the people that still watch golf.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's my sports that I watch.
Man, I watch a bit of everything. I just don't have time to watch sports much anymore. So I just catch like things here and there. But the stuff that I'll go by what I enjoy watching most, I guess, and not necessarily for some other reason. Like I don't know if they're trying to ask what like our top 3 sports, if you like what we consider the top 3 sports are. I'm gonna go with. I could say MMA, but I'm going to just try and stick to, like, I guess, traditional...
That's a sport.
It is a sport. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the usuals, I guess. So, because I watch MMA, but I'm not, like, super deep into it. I get a pay-per-view whenever there's an actual card, and then otherwise it's kind of whatever to me. So, basketball, hockey, golf, probably my 3. Basketball, but I have a problem with all of these right now. In basketball, I fucking hate where the game is from a rule perspective, and I fucking hate what those rules have made if you call it the meta of basketball right now, drives me fucking nuts. I'm not taking anything away from Steph Curry or the crew on Golden State, because they shoot the fucking lights out, and they shoot out in double coverage, triple coverage, half the stadium bearing down on them, and they're shooting from half court. It's whatever. You can't really defend somebody that's willing to shoot from 45 feet out and bang it out
all
like
the time.
You can't, like, it's whatever. You could so it's not that, but that exists, or that was forced to. I don't find it particularly entertaining to watch, is my thing, because it's not really basketball to me anymore. So that's a bit of a problem for me. So I don't watch that much basketball anymore, unless it's a couple of different teams. If the Spurs are playing, I'll watch the Spurs, because they're actually still playing what I would call basketball. And I'll watch LeBron every now and then, just because he's a freak show. Like Steph Curry's a freak show. LeBron is a genetic
LeBron's
shit show. That's just everything is just he's a fucking freak show. From golf's perspective, until recently, where Tigers think there is golf is nice to watch, because you can appreciate it. If you play golf, you immediately appreciate golf, because you look at it and go, the fuck, this is so boring. Everyone's talking in like this monotone, whispering down here.
Put
But
you to sleep.
you get out there and you try and hit a ball straight, let alone just hit it.
It's tough.
And then you appreciate when dudes start curving shit around a tree that's only 5 feet in front of them and putting it on a green within 10 feet of the hole. Like, that's impressive. So the problem is with that, though, is that they haven't found a new Tiger yet.
Nope. There's only one Tiger.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And so when Tiger's hot, it makes me want to watch golf.
Yeah.
Because it's exciting to watch. Because he's not only a good golfer when he's on these days, but he has a personality that you just like the guy.
Yeah.
It's just which they tried with Rory McIlroy, who's got the personality of a paper plate.
Yep.
And they've tried it with a couple other people. Phil Mickelson, one of the greatest golfers of all time, unfortunately, also he's a family guy. He's a great dude, but he can't carry it like Tiger.
Yeah, he's just.
They've tried multiple times, and nobody's had the longevity of Tiger yet. So that's a bit of a problem. But I'll still watch golf every now and then. And then the last one, hockey. Is hockey. I'm Canadian.
Yeah, you're Canadian.
And I love...
Hockey would be number 4 on my list.
Yeah, like hockey. I watch playoff hockey, and that's about it on that guy.
That's all I'll watch, too. And I won't even watch much of it. We're talking like the final 2 series.
I love watching Olympic hockey because I like the ice change. It changes the game a lot. Bigger ice puts a different spin on the game. I really enjoy it. And so I'll watch hockey for that reason. But otherwise, it's kind of whatever for me. I'm most disappointed in basketball. I fucking hate the rules of basketball right now. It is the most pussified bullshit sport in the world, next to male football, European football, which is the pussified sport of all. You have the most arguably the most athletic individuals on the face of the planet,
acting like a bunch of pussies.
And the game is done in such a way that it is beneficial to them to act like a fuckboy for the entire game, and that's bullshit. I would rather watch women's football because they don't bitch around with that shit.
No.
And the refs don't call every 5 fucking thing, and yet they won't put replays in because they want it to be. They want it to be a Shakespearean fucking romp every time they go out on the field.
Yeah,
it's bullshit.
Well, and it's funny too because the fields are so big and the crowds are so far away that if you're in the stadium and something like that happens, you can't even really tell what's happened. So even if something misses and the guy just does these huge theatrics, the crowd will go crazy and thinks that, oh, he really hit him, but it didn't really hit him.
And it's corrupt as fuck. Oh, it's beyond. It's worse than if there's one sport that's worse than boxing for corruptness.
I don't know.
It's FIFA. Oh, dude, no.
Okay, yeah. Okay, FIFA's bad. FIFA's bad. FIFA's bad.
They're steamrolling friggin' favelas in Brazil to fucking put up shit.
FIFA's bad. FIFA's bad. FIFA's bad.
It's pretty bad. But there's our sports. Follow up to this question is kind of a fun one. Comes in from Catton. And he's asking a follow-up to Jardis's question. Do sports that you play or like in real life affect the sports video games that you play?
No, because I don't play sport video games.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
For me, they do in that those are the games I play the most. So growing up, I played the most hockey games. I played the most by miles. And then second to that were golf games. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2003. I probably dumped half of my young life into that game. But I coincidentally I played. There was a period of time I played a lot of American football and European football games. Brian and I went through like a lot of NFL football games and a lot of FIFA because FIFA games were really good. But yeah, definitely affects to a degree. Not so much Jeff. He just flat out doesn't play them. I don't really play him either anymore. Yeah. But yeah,
I played hockey games and golf games growing up, but that's nothing as an adult.
Black Jimmy, who is he's his big dick swinger, $1,225. Let's go. He is a current $250 swinger.
Thank you so much, bro.
Black Jimmy out there representing. What popular word or phrase in pop culture do you wish would die in a fire?
Meme.
I'm dead.
Meme.
I can't
get rid of it.
I can't.
Dude.
Last night, I was the whole night.
I know I mentioned it, and then you were trying not to say it, and even then it was still coming out. And then you were just like, I give up.
I don't even realize I'm doing it anymore.
Oh, I know.
Like it just gets into me, and I do that with a lot of words. It's just that meme is unfortunately like a word that stands out in a sentence. Really bad. So I hate that I do it, but I get locked into it. There are other words growing up. I have always had that problem. I'll say it, and I kind of dig it, and then I don't realize it, and I'm putting it into every single sentence.
It was like back in the day when I was like a teenager and saying "dude" was the thing. Like dude.
Yeah, everything was
that
dude.
was it. But now it's meme for you.
Yeah,
and I think it's even worse, bro.
I can't stop.
Like if
dude blends into a sentence.
It does. Meme doesn't.
Meme.
If you were to go back and listen to any of your streams,
a meme counter
within like you should literally have There should be somebody.
A Nightbot command that somebody
that
can
just
add.
See every time. Like, see how many times in a run of a day you can say meme.
Oh, it's a lot.
Dude,
it's a lot. It gets bad, and it gets worse the angrier I am playing when I play Magic.
Yeah, it's like you've taken out all adjectives and you've replaced it with meme.
I replaced like any adjective or like synonym of joke and replaced it with meme.
Yes.
So I've gotten rid of all my vocabulary.
Yeah. It's just meme. It's just one big meme.
I want to get. It's a new one. What the fuck is yeet? Get that shit.
What, yeet?
Yeet.
Reminds me of
It's
skeet.
supposed to be a feeling, apparently, or like something. Like people can't even describe. That's a problem. You know what yeet is? It's YOLO, but without a real meaning.
Okay, yeet.
YOLO was rough for a while.
Yeah.
I got on the YOLO kick. You got on the YOLO kick.
I got on a little bit. I still say YOLO once in a while.
Once in a while, but it was bad for a while. But yeet is some shit. I don't like. I don't even know what it means. What is? Somebody let me know.
I've never even heard of it. So
it's you're gonna hear if you haven't started. It's gonna
yeet.
Yeet.
That's gonna be my meme.
It's even like kind of a grating sounding word.
Yeah, yeet.
Kill it with fire.
I'd have to say it weirdly. I can't just say yeet. I'd have to go yeet.
Oh, here we
say
go.
It like that.
This is probably the Urban Dictionary definition coming in from Caboose. Yeet is a versatile word that can be used as an exclamation, a verb, or even a noun. As an exclamation, it can be used to express excitement, usually happily, but also nervously. So it's the new fuck.
It's like yeet,
yeet,
yeet, son.
Yeet,
yeet, yeet,
yeet, bitch,
yeet, yeet,
fucking yeet.
I kind of like it. If I don't add the T at the end, I just kind of yeet.
You just yeet,
just yeet.
So you're Kanye West now?
Yeet, yeet.
That's bad.
It's pretty fucking stupid.
It's pretty bad.
What's next?
It's pretty bad. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Toad Steel, who's a long-term god as well. $2,000 in the bank.
Paying my bills.
Paying the bills.
Thank you,
right
sir.
now, Toad. Describe an experience or situation where you were absolutely certain that everything was going to go to shit, but instead it turned out all right.
Ooh.
I got one while you're thinking.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. And you'll remember this night, but you weren't there for the part that I'm going to talk about. Many, many, many moons ago, Jeff was a battle rapper. Okay? And it was Elements. Was it Elements?
The Elements League.
Here in Halifax. And it was the dead of fucking winter.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a rap battle that Jeff needed to go to, and the boys were all going to back him up, give him a corner. And so I was in, and the problem was it was in like Sackville, which was it's like a half-hour drive basically, and that's with clear roads.
Yeah.
This night was a snowstorm, and I don't mean like a regular ass snow. Like this was some shit where the snowplows couldn't keep up with it. There was about 1.5 feet on the roads.
This, yeah.
And I remember I had to stand in the living room and convince Mom. Dad was like, whatever, go do it. But I had to convince Mom that it was a good idea to go do this shit and really it was a terrible idea.
It was a horrible idea.
Because I had a Chevy Venture from like 2003 to drive, and it had all-season tires on it. No weight in it at all, just an empty ass.
You hit a patch and you're skating.
Chevy Venture. So there was lots of Tokyo drift everywhere we fucking went. So anyway, I eventually convinced her. We go to this event. So there was two parts actually to this, I guess, that would pertain to this. We walked into this room, and they had like a little cheesy boxing ring kind of set up or whatever.
It was a boxing gym.
Yeah. We walked in, and it was so hot boxed. And not just with weed smoke, like just smoke in general. It was the air was blue, and you walk in and you had to kind of swim. You get into a room, you had to kind of swim through it to like clear the way so you didn't walk into a wall.
Yeah.
Like that was how bad it was. And this was the blackest room I've ever entered into in my entire life.
Very black.
And not like
it was ghetto. It was ghetto.
It was ghetto black.
It was scary black.
It was the scary black that even Jeff was probably a little nervous about.
It's the type of black you walk the other side of the road.
That kind of black.
Yeah.
It was the black that if you're an accountant and you're black, you still don't know if you can mesh just because you're black. You still don't know if you can mesh with these people. That was who we were there with.
Yeah.
We had some career criminals in the room. So I walked into the room, and the first thought that I had was, somebody's probably going to die. Because we're in the middle of, like, we're in a dirty spot in Sackville. It's middle of the night, snowstorms outside, nobody's going anywhere. If shit goes down, we're about to have a rap battle. If shit gets dirty and we got a couple, like, that's bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, somebody's getting dummied for sure.
People have gotten dummied after
And people
those
get
things,
shut,
too.
yeah, like they get jumped outside the doors. I was like, this is why am I here? Why is my white ass standing in this fucking building?
Because you're showing your boy love, man.
Exactly.
You're supporting your boy.
I had my fresh $400 brand new pea coat on that smelled like fucking cigarette and weed for the next friggin' 3 months trying to aerate that shit. But it went okay.
Yeah.
You know, the battle went okay. Jeff lost.
It was the only battle I ever lost.
Only battle you ever lost.
It was my very first battle
and it was
ever.
it was a weak battle, honestly. Both sides. It was kind of not the
Coincidentally
the best.
enough, the one dude that voted for me, there's 3 judges. The one dude voted for me. The other 2 voted for the other guy. The other 2 guys were friends with the dude I was battling. The one guy that wasn't friends with him
voted for you.
Voted for me.
Oh, it was stacked up for sure.
It was stacked up.
It was stacked up.
But to be fair, I didn't decisively destroy the guy, right? So
no.
it's like one of those things where if you're battling somebody in their hometown and the dude's from Sackville,
it should probably have been a split decision instead of a
but if you don't decisively win or the other guy chokes, then chances are they're just going to give it to the other guy because he's a hometown dude.
Which is kind of what happened. So that happened. That goes down. Luckily, nobody died. There was almost a couple of fights that happened when we were there, but there's almost always a couple of fights that happen there. So anyway, we survived. Now it's time to go home. Snowstorm hasn't stopped the whole time we were there. We were there for like, I don't know, what, 3 hours or something like that?
A little while, yeah.
So we get outside, and now it's like nighttime. By the way, I didn't say this, but this is also plays into it. When we were driving there, I'm driving behind Jeff. Jeff's still driving his 92 Honda Civic hatchback. 91 Honda Civic hatchback with fucked up floor and everything. And he's got no winter tires on this bad boy. And his windshield wipers aren't working. And so we're driving in a snowstorm fucking for like an hour to get to Sackville in this snowstorm. No joke, a foot of snow on the road, which the car is only a foot tall to begin with. And he can't see shit. It's fogged up. The whole window's fogged up, and there's snow coming the windshield. So I'm driving behind Jeff, and all of a sudden, I see Jeff roll the window down. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is he doing? And then he pokes his head out the side of the fucking car because he couldn't see. And so he's got this snow flying in his face. And it's like 10 below zero, and he's freezing his ass off, but he can't see through his windshield. So he's just got his head stuck out the window
not? Ace
the whole
Ventura
drive.
style, you know?
So yeah, he got there in one piece, sort of. So we're leaving to go home or whatever, and I take a couple people with me, and like I didn't even know half the people in the fucking van, but I take them home, drive them home, and there's one guy who lived at not the top of a hill, but he was on a street that had like an, I don't know, 25-degree angle kind of hill to her, and I drop him off, and I put her in drive to go. And I had been idling or whatever in that spot for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. And so when I put it back into drive, I have no traction because I'm in an empty Chevy Venture with all-season tires with a foot of snow outside, and I just melted all the shit below that's now ice. I've got no traction. And I'm trying desperately. I put it into, I'm freaking out because I'm starting to slide. And I put into low gear, so I have no RPM because I want the lowest. I want just a grip. So all I want is grip. And it's not working because I got all season fucking tires in the Chevy Venture. Got nothing, and you don't want to lock the tires up because then you're really not going to go anywhere.
You're just going to slide.
And I start freaking out because I'm sliding backwards now down the hill, and there are cars parked on the sides of the road on both sides of me.
Oh fuck!
And I was going, no fuck. Car starts going sideways. I'm not going down straight anymore. I'm going sideways. So I'm in a Chevy Venture, take up the both sides of the road, and I was like, I'm going to fucking hit one of these fucking cars. And there's nothing under my control to stop it. And I was like, fuck. I was like, Dad's going to kill me. These people are going to kill me. I'm fucking dead. So I do the whole, you know, arm over the seat, turn around backwards, got one hand on the wheel, and I start fucking... I just start flailing the wheel around to try and get some traction, to try and angle myself around. And I start fishtailing a bit. And I, no joke, I fishtail missed one car. And then, so I was like, oh, okay, one car down. But then in order to miss that car, I put myself on direct fucking collision course with the second car at the end of the fucking hill. And I had no steering whatsoever. I was at the mercy of the fucking hill in the snow.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel. For
Literally.
real. And I was going, I'm done, this is it. I'm done.
Jesus, take the wheel.
And so I'm going backwards and I'm watching backwards because it was like you can't look away from the dumpster fire.
Yeah,
and I'm in the dumpster while it's on fire right now. So I'm looking behind at this car coming up and going, fuck. And the van just keeps getting closer. And I swear to God, I fucking shaved that car. The van was going sideways the whole way down the hill, and my back bumper's ass just squeaked by, and I hit the curb behind it like I was parallel parking.
Oh, fire.
And I went, oh. I stopped. I put the parking brake on, everything. I stopped. I took about 9-10 deep breaths, and I went, ah! And then I put it in drive. I went home. I didn't tell anybody about it because I was like, because then Mom was right.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have gone out in that shit.
No,
but we
went home and Mama, it was fine.
It
wasn't bad. Roads were actually not that bad.
Jeff had his head out the window, and I almost hit 5 cars going down the hill, but that was fine. That was good. Yeah. It was fine. Everyone was a lovely young man at the event, and it was great. So that was mine. You got 3 and 1 on that one. I thought Jeff was going to die driving there. I thought we were all going to die when we walked through the front door of the event, and then I thought that I was going to hit 2 or 3 vehicles sliding backwards down the hill with the old Chevy Venture. Man, so that's it.
I've been trying to think of something that I thought was going to go horribly that went well, and I can't really think of too many things because usually when I think something's going to go horribly, it just goes bad. I guess like I don't know. That's a good question. I just don't know. I mean, I thought going back to rap battles, when I went to Montreal to rap battle a guy named Botox and King of the Dot.
Oh, Botox, I remember that. Who names himself Botox?
I don't know, but I had a fire line. I had this line about Botox. I was like, oh man,
I know you had a line for Botox.
I did. I had a couple of lines. I know I said like Botox blows cocks get injected in the face.
Yeah,
and
that was it.
I had another one where I was like,
that was your end of the line though. That was the punchline.
I also said I already won this battle before it even begun. The only person who's ever lost to Botox was Kanye's mom.
That was it.
Yeah, that was a hard line, bro. That was a hard line. For those that don't know, Kanye's mom died after Botox or during or after complications of Botox surgery, and that got the crowd went, ooh shit. That was a fire line. But anyway, I went to that. I went out there with some of my friends, and I actually went there sort of not prepared fully. So I thought it wasn't going to go well because I was like, I remember we drove up to Montreal 2 days before the event. I partied and shit, went to strip clubs and stuff like the night before. And then I come back from the strip club and I'm sitting there trying to study my lines because I don't, like I knew them, but I didn't know them the way I should have known them.
Yeah.
And then I went there to the event, found out that I was like 4th or 5th to battle. So then I went outside and I was doing my lines. I thought it was going to go horribly. I mean, I was pretty confident, like, I'm not afraid of crowds or anything.
No.
So I went there and I was like, if this guy's really good and I choke or like I forget some of my lines, because I've been in battles before. I battled a guy named Kretz here at down by the waterfront, and I choked on my third round because back in the Elements League they were 2 minute rounds, which is a long time.
It's a long go
to like that's 6 minutes of stuff that you got to basically memorize.
Yeah, and
then you could do like come up with a few rebuttals in between rounds that you could get back at him at the beginning of rounds. And in the third round versus Kretz, like midway through, I forgot the setup to a punchline, so I just kind of sat there for a second. And I freestyled some really shitty line that didn't really make sense, and then I picked up and I got into it. But people could tell, like you can always tell when a battle rapper trips up, and you start thinking, but you don't want to sit there and wait too long because the moment the crowd goes, oh,
then you're fucked.
Yeah, then you're fucked, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, like, fuck, if I was fearing that was because I had the first 2 rounds of this King of the Dot one memorized well. It was the third round that I finished writing, and I was like, I don't know this. But anyway, I went there. Botox didn't do that bad. I mean, it wasn't like a horrible showing. He didn't choke or anything like that.
He stuck to the maxi pad joke.
He stuck to the maxi pad joke. Said like something about me working at McDonald's, even though I never worked at McDonald's.
Yeah, some weak shit.
You guys can go watch that on YouTube if you just.
I think Ramek has the link to it right now. Actually.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, just you type in MaximusBlack versus Botox or something, or just go MaximusBlack King of the Dot.
Yeah,
and you'll find it. But anyway, I thought it was gonna go. I shouldn't say I thought it was going to go horribly, but I thought there was a good chance I was going to forget my shit, and I didn't. I won the crowd over in like the first round. And after, because you just never know. He was a new battle rapper. He never battle rapped before, so I couldn't see how good or bad he was.
No material. To run with.
He was just like, I want to battle somebody. I was like, motherfucker, I'll battle you. I don't give a shit. Like he could have been.
You had his name, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it. I was like, yeah, his name's Botox. I come up with some funny lines. And then that was the show. So anyway, I battled him, and it went well. And I ended up winning, and I never battled in the King Dot again. I'm sure I could if I asked organic. But, yeah, that's pretty much the only – on the top of my head, that's really the only thing. It's not as elaborate or as funny as your story. But I can't really think of anything else that I thought was going to go horribly that went really – or that went well. There was another thing when I was in junior high. Was it junior high or high school? High school. There was a fashion show or a talent show. It was a fashion show, and I signed up for it for some fucking reason. And we did a fashion show, and funny enough, the only thing that so two funny things here. Number one is they got me dressing like a fucking I don't even know. It was shit I would just never wear. And it was I do believe the fashion show was all about like thrift stores. So they had to go and get a bunch of clothes, basically like showing off that you can still get really nice things at thrift stores and whatever. So anyway, we did that, and I thought it was gonna go horribly, but it went well. And there's one thing about this fashion show that I always still think about. Even this sounds gay, and it's not. But I occasionally I think about this, just because it's funny. We were out back, and this was at JL, and we all get dressed on the stage, but behind the curtain, and there was this little tiny room as well in back of the stage where they kept like blue mats and different things. So anyway, the girls all got changed in that, and they could close the door and have privacy and shit. And then the guys would get changed sort of on the outside, because dudes, we take our shirt off and put a new shirt on, get into our boxers and put that. Girls, they're in their bra and stuff, and it gets awkward, and you're a teenager and shit, right? So anyway, there was this guy, I don't want to say his name, but there was a rumor about this guy that he was hung like a motherfucking horse, right? And all these girls would be like, yeah, I had sex with him at a party, or I gave him a blowjob or whatever, right? And he's fucking hung, right? And I was like, man, I was like, how fucking hung can this guy really be, right? And at the time, like, I was in high school, and I think this was grade 10. I'm almost certain it was grade 10. So at the time, I'd only been with a couple of chicks. Yeah. Because I had a long-term girlfriend, and so I lost my virginity to my first girlfriend, and then the current girlfriend that I had during high school. Obviously we had been together. We were together for a long time. So I was like, as a dude, you're always thinking, how do I match up? How do I match up against these other guys? Like,
when you're that young, that's pretty much the only thing that's going through your mind.
Yeah. Like I never once thought I had a small dick, right? But when you watch porno and stuff, and you see guys that are like
definitely
fucking
get a skewed perspective.
You get a skewed perspective, right? Like in terms, like sometimes you see it's like, oh, okay, but at this point in junior high or high school, first year. And this dude was 1 year older than me, so he was in grade 11. And all these girls were talking about this, and they were all gawking over him and getting, taking sneak peeks and stuff out the door and shit. And this guy was like a lady killer, right? So like he was slaying bitches like
I'm trying to think of who this could possibly
early on.
Be.
So I was like, you know what? We're all getting changed, right? So we're getting changed in the back. I go and do my runway. I come back. This dude, he's getting changed. So he doesn't get to the nude, but he's in his boxers. And his boxers, he's wearing like boxer briefs. So they're like tight,
Yeah, of
but,
course.
But they're not like, but they're boxer briefs. Every
course.
dude knows what boxer briefs are. So you can visibly see a man bulge.
Of course.
Right? You can visibly see a man bulge.
I avoid them because I hate how constrained my balls are in boxer briefs.
That's all I wear is boxer briefs or whatever. Funny enough, I've been commando now for almost 2 months. So
thank God I know that now.
I've just been like YOLO, and I've just been like, you know what? I'm gonna go commando for a few months, see what it's like. So I've been doing that. But anyway, back to the story. So this dude is getting changed, and he gets down to his briefs, and I'm fucking curious, right? So, and I can't see him. He's got his back to me. So I say his name, and he turns around, and I look. I visibly, it's almost like you're standing at a urinal and you look at the dude's wang, right?
Except I definitely can say I've never done that.
Well, no, but there's people that do that shit, right?
There is, yeah.
And you're sitting there and you're basically, your dick is touching the urinal because you think people are like fucking
looking at your dick.
Yeah, especially if there's a dude your size and you're like towering over somebody, right? You could probably see four dicks by just looking to the left or right.
Standing up taking a piss in a stall because my head goes above the stall.
Yeah. So anyway. I don't even know why this. I don't know why I'm telling you this story because it has nothing to do with me thinking things are gonna go bad.
Neither do I, but you've made it this far, so please continue.
So he turns around and I just straight up. I don't even do like a quick look.
You're not even trying.
I move my entire head down and I'm staring at his junk like I want to see because I've been hearing all these. This dude's man bulge looked like he had 4 socks. In his man bulge, and I'm sitting, I'm staring at it, right? And he's like, "What?" And I forget that I called his name, and I look at him, and for some, this is what comes out of my mouth. I said, "Dude, do you have a fucking hard on right now?" That's what I said, and he's like, "What the fuck? No, dude." And I was, and I just stopped talking, and I walked away, and it was so awkward, bro. And there's like 4 or 5 other guys standing there, and I don't know why. It's like the first thing that came to my mind. I didn't know what to say. I was cockstruck. I didn't know what to say or do, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that bulge is fucking huge.
That's amazing.
And I literally asked him, like, do you have a hard on, or like I'm pretty sure this is my exact words, and he's like, no, what the fuck, and I just walked away. And I don't know why I'm telling you guys the story because it's because I did the runway thing and I thought it was going to go bad and it didn't go bad.
Yeah.
But then that's the story that I always think of, and I still think of it whenever because he's on Facebook and I don't have him as a friend, but sometimes I see pictures of this guy
and you remember that he
and
has
then
a
I
massive
remember
dick.
that he's fucking hung, right? and I remember asking. It's not even the fact that he's got a big dick, which I'm assuming is because people said it and then I've seen the bulge. But it's the fact that I asked him if he had a fucking hard on because there's so much dick there.
I think the best follow up was that you just went silent after that and walked away.
I went silent. Well, what's my follow up?
Your follow up to that is at this age, if you saw it, you'd just be like, congratulations,
I'd be like, dude, you're fucking hung, bro.
You're a fucking mastodon, dick, bro. Good job. Let's go. But when you're grade 10, you're like fucking 14 years old. You're like,
what do you say?
Socially, you're like,
it's like,
just walk away.
That's what I did. Like, what else do I say to him? Do I say like, wow, impressive dick? Or like, because that's just gay, right? And you're like, there's like, and I'm not part of that. I wasn't part of his group of friends either.
Oh, so there's like no affiliation at all.
There's no affiliation. I'm not friends.
That's awkward.
I'm not friends with him.
That's awkward.
We've talked. We were on a volleyball team together in grade 7. But beyond that, I never talked to the guy. We didn't hang out, and he was in that cool group of people that that I didn't mesh with. So I was like an outsider to begin with. Like he just kind of dealt with me. Like he was just like we were just acquaintances. So then when I'm like, hey, I almost said his name, but when I said, hey, yo. And he turns around like I was asking a question, and I just stared at his dick, and then I asked him, do you have a hard on? And he's like, the fuck?
So do you think that he ever remembers the fashion show and just goes, man, that random black kid asked me if I had a hard on?
Well, I don't think he thinks that random black because he knows who I am.
Yeah.
But he might just go like, why in the fuck did Jeff ask me? I just honestly, but if you're hung like that and that happens, you just got to be thinking like, yeah, I'm fucking packing heat and he was just probably cockstruck, right? So I don't know, right? But anyway, it was impressive. It was impressive, and I obviously didn't even see his schlong.
No,
like I don't even know if he's a shower and not a grower, I don't know if he grows on top of that, but I do know from a guy that wears a lot of briefs, and my bulge isn't the smallest bulge, and I'm pretty fucking confident that guy was full black, and he was like, he's the dude you see in the pornos.
He's the porno guy.
And you're like, Jesus Christ. And when all the girls, because, you know, in high school, girls are like, yeah, you know, they up the guy. They're like, yeah, he's fucking hung.
Well,
and then they break up. It's like, dude, your dick is small, bro.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
And you have no idea.
You have no
because
idea. It's like, you know, but every girl, and he's slaying every fucking hot chick there was. Every girl's like, man, his dick is huge. I could not handle his dick. There was one other guy in high school. I'll say his name, Mike. Is Big Black Mike.
Oh.
And this
Big
guy,
Mike.
Big Mike, and this guy's hung.
He has to be.
This guy, he's
genetically impossible not to be.
He's taller. He's
He's 6'10".
Okay, he's taller than Adam and about 100 pounds heavier.
He's 6'10", and he probably weighs a good 320 pounds.
And he's full black.
Yeah.
And this dude's dick. Like, there was a couple, and there were hood rat chicks too that were like getting with this guy.
He played t-ball on the weekends.
And he even screwed somebody's mom from school. Ended up having sex with somebody's mom. But anyway, there was one chick that had sex with this guy at the beach at Kennard, and like this little tiny beach area that's there. And she literally cried, bled, and it was a horrible experience for her. It was consensual. But she was anyway. When that story got out, nobody wanted to screw this. And he was the type of guy that would go around and say he's got a huge dick. He was like, yeah, my dick is huge. And he would he'd go in the locker room and he wouldn't give a fuck. He'd be like, the shit would just, you know, it was like, you have to watch out because if it swung and hit your leg, you'd be bruised. Yeah. Like, and it looked like it had weight to it. Like it wasn't even, it looked heavy. It looked like, you know.
It looked like it actually had heft.
It had
like when he goes to the urinal, he actually gets an exercise out of lifting his own penis to take a piss.
Yes, it's like it would be like holding a pound of weight. It's like those little weights that females use in the gym. But it's your dick.
You're holding that.
It's heavy, bro. It's heavy, and it looked like it wouldn't be fun to deal with at all. Not only for him, but for the females, be even worse. So anyway, besides him, that I knew for proof, and he was full black, right? So I knew like the guy, this is probably real. And then when he shows you, and he doesn't give a fuck.
He's a really nice guy too.
He's a super nice dude.
Unless you fucked with his friends, then he'll kill you. And he didn't have to work very hard to do it.
No, I mean,
this is completely sidetracked now. I don't give a fuck. I have to tell the short form story of this because you brought up Mike. Okay, we're in high school, and Big Mike had a brother who wasn't nearly as big as Big Mike. He wasn't small. He was pretty tall too, but he wasn't 320 pounds.
Yeah.
And he was in grade below me. I was right in the middle, and then Mike was one ahead. And I remember one lunchtime, a bunch of just white kid career criminal types show up in like what was essentially a clown car at lunch to come after, for whatever reason, Mike's little brother.
Bad life choice.
Okay? I won't say any names because just whatever.
Yeah.
But they literally pulled up in a car, and like a clown car, like 6 of them got out of this car. And they had just literally been released that fucking day. And they showed up for this shit.
Oh, boy.
And they're down at the street, the bottom of the soccer field. Is it because they didn't come onto the property? They stayed out there. And Big Mike gets wind that this is happening because his brother's obviously like, hey, I might die. And so Mike said, hold on, I got this. So he walks down, and I remember the shit. No faculty got involved, nothing. There were at least 250 people in the soccer field watching this entire thing unfold. And it was like a movie. 200 people already in the soccer field watching as this car pulls up, music blaring, this clown car, 6, white skinheads get out of this fucking car. And here comes Mike walking, and you don't know the school, but there's a long walkway from the top of the hill. And it was like, if there was a light that could have been shining on him, like a spotlight as he walked down, and everyone's watching. And here comes 6'10", 320-pound black as knights. Big Mike.
Yeah.
Coming down this hill.
Darkness.
And I look at, darkness. And I'm looking at these other guys, and they look confident. And I'm going, this is... some shit's about to go down. And Big Mike comes down the hill, and it was just, he walks out into the street, and there's always the ringleader comes up, and he said, He said, you know, your boy made a big fucking mistake. It's time for him to pay up. Mike was like, no. Mike said, no, he's not. That's my brother. You got to go through me. He said, and the guy said, okay. One pulls a knife.
You mean he said?
Yeah, he looked up.
Okay.
Because he was about, the white dude might have been 5'9". So he was a foot and a bit and weighed maybe 150 pounds. So he pulls a knife. And the rest of them start surrounding Mike. One guy picked up a brick off the road. Another guy picked up some rocks, because I guess it was like David versus Goliath. It was just
you have to use a weapon against this. You have to.
In this case.
Or you will die.
Guy pulls a knife. All right? He goes in for the kill. Literally. Goes in for the kill. Mike takes one swing because his arm is longer than this man's body.
Yeah.
And his fists are like refrigerators. And he just catches, and it's a clean punch because the guy's running in with a knife. He has to come towards Mike.
Yeah.
Mike didn't move. He didn't take a step. He dropped a foot back and just cocked his fist and cracked him. And it sounded like a gun went off in the street because there's houses, and so it echoed between all the houses. It was just cracked. And this dude spaghettied instantly. One punch, just bam, and just fucking like, and didn't make a sound. He just hit the ground, and it was one of those uncomfortable, like, he might be dead. Because his body hit, and his leg was out to the side like he fell off a building.
Yeah,
and
not
he
a
was
good time.
fucked on the ground, face first, done. Blood leaking, he was done. All right, there's 5 people left. There's 5 people left. There's the dude behind. So this guy with a rock starts throwing a rock. It hits Mike in like the back. And Mike, he's 320 pounds. He hits him and he notices it. He turns around and he goes, what? And while he's looking this way, the dude with the brick biffs this full-on red brick at Mike. And it hits him in the chest and makes this like fucking, because he makes this hollow thud sound. Just goom. And Mike didn't move. It didn't phase him. He didn't like kind of rock backwards because there's not enough weight because he weighs 320 pounds. And the guy who threw this brick weighs 140. And so it hits him and it just hits the ground. So you hear this thud and you hear the tinkling of the brick hit the ground. And he stops. And Mike's been looking behind at the rock thrower. And he slowly looks back at the brick thrower. Like a movie! It's a fucking movie I'm watching. And there's 200 people on the fence line watching this shit unfold. And he just slowly looks back, and the guy went, you could see visibly,
fear.
He
There's
went,
fear
internally,
now.
he went, I made a bad choice. And sure as shit,
Can you imagine
I made
picking up a brick?
A brick.
Like once you, like it's one thing to pick up the brick and go, motherfucker, I'll
And
use
then
it.
you use it.
But then he threw it.
And it
then
did
it does
nothing.
nothing. At that point, I mean, there's nothing your fist can do. There's nothing your boy with the knife could have done.
Oh,
You're fucked.
he's fucked. One guy of the guys remaining books it. Fucking gone. Only smart individual.
dude.
The entire dude. The guy with the brick is frozen in fear. Literally. He probably pissed himself.
Yeah.
Mike goes over there and just claps him. Another one. One drop. Bang. Guy accepted his fate. He didn't even move. He just ate it. And his hand is the size of his head. It comes down on him and it hits him and you can't see his facial features because Mike's hand is eclipsing like the fucking moon over the sun. Just his whole face gone. And he hits the ground. He's dead. So there's 2 guys on the ground dead. Another guy runs. The other guy with the rock is thinking about it, and then they get in. The remaining people leave their boys, hop in the car, and they fucking take off.
Fuck this.
And Mike just stops, walks back up the hill. 200 people still looking, and all that's behind him is a brick on the ground, a rock, and 2 dead guys. Just laying on the ground, blood leaking out of them.
Oh, man.
Bell rang for lunch not long after. I went back in the building. Those guys were still unconscious on the fucking ground.
It wouldn't surprise me. And the thing is, you get to put it into perspective, guys.
Fuck.
Mike is like a gentle giant.
He is. It's only because they came after his brother.
Yeah,
That's
he
it.
is the type of dude that like is always smiling, is always and he's the type of like big strong guy that would stick up for somebody that's getting bullied.
Exactly.
Like he's that type of guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't start shit. He doesn't start rumors. He doesn't fuck around. He's an athletic guy. Quiet, very loyal to his friends, and that's it. So in order for him to go and fuck your day up, you gotta like legitimately threaten
You gotta do something
You
stupid.
gotta do something really stupid.
Like show up in a car with 6 dudes and a knife.
Yes.
And threaten his little brother.
Yes. That's it.
That was just,
and that's probably like that's as far that's like what will do it. I think anything less than that is he'll try and be like, guys, just relax. Like
the scary thing about Mike is that he was really big, but he wasn't awkward.
No.
You know, sometimes you get that big and you're kind of like awkward, like you're not gangly.
Dude, he was an athletic big guy.
He was an athletic 6'10", 320.
Yes.
And he came out and the image is seared into my mind of that guy with a knife. I was like, in the back of my head, I was thinking, you know, no matter how big you are, knife can still fuck you up. I was thinking,
yes,
you know,
of course.
This could go south. And then he leaned, and I can just see Mike take the one step forward, his size fucking 500 shoe, step forward and just lean into this punch, and the sound that rattles off the fucking houses in that area, and just his body crumple like fucking paper, just onto the ground, and he just, it's an image that will never leave my mind. And then to see the brick hit his chest and not phase him was also kind of fucked up. I don't even know how you do that.
Crazy.
You hit me with a brick?
Well, adrenaline too, and he's a big guy. I'm sure he still felt it.
Oh,
probably like a little bit later on. He's like, "Fuck,
bruise,
you know."
For sure.
But yeah, still crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's Mike. We
So
talked
there you
him
have
up.
it.
Not only is he a big dick, he's got a big fist.
Yeah,
and a big heart.
Oh my god.
So anyway, I have no idea how we got down that road, but I think that's a good place to end it.
I just wanted to answer one quick question here because it's so random. I couldn't. And this comes in from pulsating ripe developing titties, who is now
Love it.
a $40 fucking meme account.
Didn't I say that one?
Yes, and then
podcast?
somebody made a fucking joke account, and now they're $40 deep. Adam, can you dunk? If so, what style? 2-hand, 1-hand, run up required, etc. Okay, right now, if I tried to dunk, both my knees would separate, my ankles would fold, and I'd die. However, in high school, when I last played competitive basketball, I could dunk. In fact, I could dunk in junior high. In junior high, I could only do a run. I had to run up, one-handed, full extension is all I could manage. High school, I developed my jumping capabilities, and I could do pretty much anything I wanted to. I wasn't some dude going up doing Vince Carter between the leg, fucking reverse 360s.
No.
But any way I wanted to dunk, or if I needed to dunk over somebody, which I never did in the game, and it pissed off my team, I could. Including standing, a perfect standstill, back to the rim, turn around, 2-handed dunk. I could do that. At 6'6".
Adam in his prime.
6'6" white guy. It was pretty impressive to watch. Unfortunately, I never did it in a game, and my God, did that piss everyone off. Just the opportunity never made itself available because we had shooters. It was like the Golden State Warriors. You handed it off. You handed it off to Jack and Casey, and they just shot, and that was it. That was the whole. The whole team was Jack and Casey. So yeah. Anyway, I could not now. I'd die.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. That's a long one.
That's it. Good one though. This was a good shit.
This was a good one. If you guys are enjoying the podcast, make sure to hit that follow button here on Twitch. Once again, if you're listening to this on YouTube or on Twitch, go to thegrind.gg. I'm going to start shamelessly advertising this book now, so get used to it. Thegrind.gg, my book all about streaming. It is going to be available on pre-order this week, so go to the website and sign up there, and I'll be shooting everybody an email the moment the book is ready for pre-order, and then this time next week you'll actually be able to pre-order it. So, or I'll be able to say go and do it now. But yeah, so there's that. And if you're enjoying the podcast and you like what we're doing, you want to continue to support, or you're wanting to start support, you can head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/LAGTV. Link is in the description. We are just about to hit $3,500 again, which means we're going to continue. I mean, we already have a couple of extra episodes of Retro Versus ready to go.
They're banked up.
So I'll release another one of those in a couple days, which the next one's great. For those that don't know, Adam and I, we grab random games on the wall and we play them and upload them onto YouTube. And also, we're going to be bringing back the StarCraft stuff. The World Vision stuff will be done on Sunday. I posted the second last game today, which was the crazy game that we had. You remember that one? It was like 30 minutes, and people that were throwing back and forth for like forever. It was a wild game.
That's a good game.
If you guys haven't seen that one,
you want to watch that one.
Yeah, that's the one you want to watch.
That's a good one.
Go and see that. And then we're going to be doing StarCraft-related stuff. So if you guys want to take part in that, all the information on the Patreon is there as well. Once again, patreon.com/LAGTV. That's it.
That's the show.
That's the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by and enjoying yet another Technical Alpha podcast. Once again, as Jeff already said, it's patreon.com/LAGTV, and you can get all the links to things like iTunes. We're also on Spotify. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the show. I put us up on Spotify now. So if you're looking for podcasts on Spotify, Technical Alpha is now available there, and you can enjoy us there as well. Thank you guys once again. Until we see you guys next week, peace.